Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2024 Open Championship. My name is Eric, and I'm here with SweetSpotDFS. Go over everything the SweetSpot process has to give you because we're trying to hit the optimal lineup. So I go over very specific things that help you target the optimal lineup. I like to go over the course and tournament information, pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, just to go over salary builds that you might want to consider, and I can give you the data, show you the proof that some of those considerations would work, maybe not, and we can discuss more about that about this week's tournament, because again, we have a 5K range, so there is a strategy that goes about dealing with that. And then I'll go over everything very specific to SweetSpot DFS. I go over the bucket system, I go over the Marquee Tee Times, and then we can get into kind of the combo buckets and everything like that, because we're trying to narrow down our player pool in order to, again, target the optimal lineup. And then at the end of the video, I will be building lineups. But before we get into all that stuff, just some reminders. I like to do giveaways. There's a weekly and a monthly giveaway. I will be giving $5 away here shortly. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and participate on the channel. So all you have to do is be here, be present. What I like to do is I go over roll calls. So every hour of the stream, I will just say, hey, type whatever, whatever word, whatever phrase, whatever, I try to keep it light. Don't want to get too serious, but if you're here during those times, you will get entries into the giveaway. And then another way you can get entries into the giveaway is to comment after this video gets put on replay. So obviously we're live right now. Once I hit end broadcast, it then goes into replay mode. So all you gotta do is during the replay, come back to the video, comment down below, and you get an additional entry that way. It's super simple, super easy. And then the monthly giveaway, okay, so the weekly giveaway, I give $5 away. The monthly giveaway, I'm giving away $100. And in order to actually give away 100, I have to reach the subscriber goal that you see all the way over there to the left. We're at 777 out of 800 subscribers. So we really just need 23 more, and we will hit that for the month. And I do the monthly giveaway the first Tuesday of the next month. So we have 15 days left in the month. We're very close to hitting that sub goal, and I will be giving away $100 once that happens. And honestly, all you need to do, again, be subscribed to the channel, comment here when I do roll call, comment on any of the replays, do any of that stuff. You get entries that way. And we have found out through but many different giveaways, you just need one entry. That's all you need to win. Obviously, more gives you better opportunities to win, but really it just takes one. We've seen it far too often. So those are the two monetary giveaways. And I just want to, before we get into this giveaway, just a reminder, I do have a Prize Picks promo code. You can find a link for it down in the description of this video. If you sign up using the promo code SweetSpot on Prize Picks, that is, and put at least $20 in your account, I will give you $20 back. Prize Picks will match your deposit up to $100. So if you want to put $100 into it, go for it. They will give you $100. I will give you $20 on top of that. No other content creators doing that. I don't think there's a better deal out there. So if you're interested in doing Prize Picks, I highly encourage you to use the promo code SweetSpot. I've been making a lot of money doing that, doing the Tuesday tacos as they have them. So I put a bunch of taco picks in with some PGAs. A couple of my friends found out a pretty good strategy, which, somewhere in the future, I will be doing Prize Picks, maybe even underdog, a lot of those prop. You're not supposed to call it betting, but basically, prop picks and stuff like that. I'll get back into that once everything kind of settles down, because obviously, I'm trying to build a website. I have a website built. I'm trying to add more and more and more and more to that while still streaming here full time and still working full time. So, and it's also golf season, competitive golf season. I play a lot of tournaments, so there's just not enough time in a day or in a week to get everything done. But those will be the plans somewhere in the future. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the giveaway. We had 62 total entries, which is fantastic. Appreciate everyone participating. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing roll calls throughout this video at every hour mark. I want you guys to remind me if we don't get there. So at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 53 minutes from now, I will be doing roll call number 1. And then I'll continue doing that as I keep going on throughout this video. But you can see the replays I have. I don't have a lot. People that came on the replays and commented at least once, those are your entries. They got 7. So again, once this goes live, just come back into it, comment on it, and you'll get an entry into this giveaway. Let's go ahead and drum roll this, see who our winner is. Barry R. Congrats, Barry. Long-time listener, long-time follower. So I will send you $5. I do know where to send it. Congratulations, Barry. And again, these all go into the monthly giveaways. So currently there are 96 total entries. Plus, that includes the 62 from this week. So all the people in the chat right now: Lombardi Lee, AJ Love, Josh Allen, Eric Carnivore. What's going on, gentlemen? They're usually here during the roll call. So we'll get you guys some entries here coming up. Let's see, what else do I need to go over? I want to make things faster, quicker. I don't want to, you know, bore you guys with the same details of, hey, do this, check this out, you know, all that good stuff. It's worth mentioning that I have a website called SweetSpotDFS.com. You can find a link for this website in the description of this video, or just type in SweetSpotDFS.com. When you're here, I have a couple tools that you can use, that you can look at. I have a members only tab. I also have a 7K combo buckets tab. I'll be going over both of those during the review of the Genesis Scottish Open, just to show you guys how well the SweetSpot process did there. But you can access the cheat sheet from here. You can also access the cheat sheet from the link in the description below, or just go to SweetSpotDFS.com, because you're going to find a ton of stuff that I cover in this video and all my other videos you can find here. So you can see the cheat sheet on the website, or you can just click here, and this will bring you to the Google Sheet that has everything that I will be covering in this video. You can find everything there. The dream sheet's there, the bucket system's there. I also have the price conversion tool is here. If you don't know what that is, basically every single year, DraftKings has always had the lowest price be $6,000 for a golfer. They have now experimented with $5,000 price tags, which we have this week. Now, if we're going to analyze past salary structures, we need a way to compare it to, or we need a way to compare this week's salaries to just your traditional, what DraftKings has done in previous years. Otherwise, we're not really comparing apples to apples. We're comparing apples to oranges. So I did create a price conversion tool showing you like, oh, Scottie Scheffler's $12,800 this year. In previous years, that'd be like $11,500. Now, some of these price tags are super close, but it's not until you get down here where it's like, okay, $5,500 to $6,300, $5,000 to $6,000. These are the conversions we need to be looking at. And really, I like to tier them anyways. So like tier 4 is 7Ks, tier 5 is 6Ks. And what you're going to see every single year, I'll go over this in the past optimal and GPP winning lineups, is the salary ranges are nearly the same amount of golfers in each one of them. And that's what I try to do this week. And that's what I try to do every single week. Again, it's for us to analyze salaries and really get closer to hitting the optimal lineup. We're trying to target it. And obviously knowing the, I don't know what you want to call them, the coordinates to what where our target is, part of that is salaries. We need to figure out our salaries. Like I said, you can find the cheat sheet on the website. You can also request for the optimizer, which I will be, I already have built. Always got to wait for the PGA Tour.com to come out with the tee times, because my whole process revolves around the PGA Tour.com, not so much the Open.com. I know the tee times came out early this morning. I had a bunch of requests for the optimizer earlier this morning. It's like, I don't have the tee times from the PGA Tour. Like, you got to be able to scrape the data. You got to be able to copy and paste the data, and the Open Championship did not provide that for me whatsoever. So I waited for the PGA Tour to give me those tee times, and I copied and pasted them, did all that good stuff. The optimizer's ready after that's done. But yeah, you come in here, type in your email, hit request now, and I will send you the optimizer. This is what it looks like. This is my version of it, but your version looks very similar, minus what you just saw for timestamps. And this is what I'm going to be building lineups with later on in the video. So if you want access to this, again, go to the website, or you can just email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com, letting me know you'd like access to this, but might as well just go to SweetSpotDFS.com. Check out all the tools. Like I said, I have a members only tab where you can find out what the combo buckets are for the 10, 9, 8, and 6K combo buckets. They did pretty good. If you take a look, well, again, we'll discuss this when it comes to the review of the Genesis Scottish Open, which you see on the screen. I will update this after the stream tonight with the Open Championship combo buckets, but as I always explain these, the combo buckets did pretty well this week, or this last week. So again, I will talk about them. This is, again, members only. You have to be a paying member on SweetSpotDFS.com. In order to pay, how do I want to show it to you? I'll go back to the homepage. You can either go to the homepage, scroll down, find these payment options here, click here to sign up that way, or what you could do, if I make this an incognito mode, go to log in, join now, hit the little join now button, and then select any of the price tags here. Just hit the button right next to it. Now, not every tool, it's just the members only that requires you to be a weekly, monthly, yearly, or lifetime member. The 7K combo buckets and some other pieces on the website require you to be a free member. And if you want any of the giveaways moving forward, when I give away memberships, you're going to have a free membership. So if you have any issues signing up, email me right there at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Let me know that you're having trouble. I can either create an account with you or for you, or we can go over it together. A lot of the issue comes with that little thing there, the little CAPTCHA. I've tried to fix it a couple times. It might be the cache in your computer or in your browser that might cause issues with this. So let me know, but you should be able to log in for free. And that's, yeah, simple as that. Now, there is one other thing to mention that I keep forgetting. If you are a white tier member here at SweetSpotDFS.com and you paid for it, you didn't get a membership given to you, or gifted to you, I should say. If you've paid for it, you are eligible for a discount code for a monthly membership at SweetSpotDFS.com. So my whole goal here is you don't have to spend more than $20 a month in order to access all of the privileges and benefits of being a SweetSpot DFS member. So if you pay $5 here on YouTube, you're going to get that $5 off of your membership on SweetSpotDFS.com for monthly and higher. I haven't figured out a yearly thing yet because YouTube does everything by monthly, or not bi-monthly, but monthly. So that's where we have it right now. And all you got to do is email me, or if I notice it, then I will let you know, hey, you're eligible for discount for your monthly membership. Anyways, 7K combo buckets are also available. I'm going to actually exit out of this. Just wanted to show you how to sign up. 7K combo buckets. This is for free members. You don't have to pay to get this. 7K combo buckets. And they tend to work. So that's all I'm going to show with that. I think I can probably drop this and we can get into the video for the Open Championship. Now, one quick thing, actually, before I get into the video, if we get this video up to 25 likes, I will gift 5 memberships. So we got to get up to 25 likes, and I will give away 5 YouTube memberships. They are white tier and above, so you get certain privileges. And tomorrow night, I will again do a members only video where I show you how I'm going to be building lineups for the Open Championship. I'm not going to tell you where I put those lineups because that would be breaking DraftKings TOS, and it's very, you know, borderline that I might be breaking the TOS, but I'm pretty sure how I read it is I can't build lineups for you guys and tell you where to put them, but I can build lineups for you guys. I can build lineups for myself, and show you guys. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard. Actually, it's going to be, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be building lineups. I'll show you my whole process, how I do it for myself. But quite frankly, I'm telling you the whole process in all of these strategy videos. But when I look more into things and I have a certain feeling, because a lot of the building that I do for myself is half feelings and half data. So I'll let you guys in on how I feel tomorrow about lineups. And you got to be a white tier member on YouTube. So, or for SweetSpotDFS. So if you haven't yet, do it, and you can watch those videos. And if not, then so be it. It's all good. No worries. That's it. That's all that I have. 25 likes. I'll gift 5 memberships. And then also tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will do another live video for white tier members and above only. Okay. Let's go ahead and get in the course and tournament information. I don't really have anything to talk about for the agronomy of this golf course. It is a link style golf course. Royal Troon is the golf course, or the venue that we are at. They played this in 2016. Now you can go ahead and take a look at what happened there. Phil Mickelson and Henrik Stenson played some really good golf compared to everybody else. -6 was the lowest score outside of those two golfers. I don't know if that's what we're going to see this week. It's very choppy with weather. I have no idea what it's supposed to do Thursday. I have no idea what it's supposed to do Friday. They say wind is going to be involved, and wind obviously is the biggest factor when it comes to shooting low scores. Obviously, if Henrik Stenson got to -20 and Phil Mickelson got to -17, scoring is definitely on the table. I don't know what else happened. I remember watching those two duel away. But I don't remember if the golf course played super tough. Obviously, the scores kind of show that it did play tough. I just don't know. I'm not positive as to what to expect this week because the weather reports are very inconsistent. Reminds me of Minnesota, where I live. They could tell you one thing, but in 2 hours from that time, it's going to do something else. So you kind of, man, I hate giving like answers like I'm not sure what's going to happen, but quite frankly, if I'm being honest with you, I have to tell you I'm not sure what's going to happen because I've done all the digging I can to see what type of forecast they're going to be. Nothing seems set in stone right now. Again, this is a Tuesday night. I should preface that with you should probably look Wednesday, and also lineup block will be 12:35 Central Standard Time. So, you know, make sure that you are planning accordingly. A lot of people, from what I have heard, like to modify their lineups Thursday morning before lineup block. You're not going to get that opportunity this week. So be on the lookout for that. I didn't do a mapping of this golf course. But if we were to talk about the agronomy, apparently you have a POA/bent grass mix for the greens of this golf course. Now, I also read that they are a brown tipped bent grass. I have no idea what the heck that is. I have no idea what strain it is. If you want to use bent grass, you certainly can. I did not. If I bring up the cheat sheet once again, and I go to the dream sheet, if you scroll over to the course fit part of it, I just have fescue in here. I don't have any grass stats. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want to put grass stats on here because all it's going to do is polarize the rankings even more than what they are. So what I mean by that is like Scottie Scheffler and a lot of these known golfers are just going to get a higher score, and those that are playing on the PGA Tour are going to get a higher score than like your Yannick Pauls and your Joost Luitens. I don't necessarily want that when it comes to the optimizer, like building lineups with the optimizer. I certainly don't want that when it comes to ranking these golfers. If you leave grass stats out of it, it kind of all comes down to skill. And I'm okay with, evaluating my players just based off of skill. And by that, it's your strokes gain stats, it's your driving stats, your birdie making stats, your bogey avoidance stats, stuff like that. I want those to be going into the rankings and not so much the grass stats. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's what I'm doing when it comes to evaluating golfers this week, and that's what I've provided in the cheat sheet for all of you. The tournament, there are 158 golfers. I think what happens for the Open is all of the qualifying venues out there, if you get like if you get a tie, they don't do a playoff. That's kind of what I'm imagining, because I don't know why they would allow more than 156 golfers in the field. The Open obviously does a little different. Everybody is teeing off on hole 1, just so you guys are aware. I did make waves, but honestly, I don't know if it really matters that much. If everyone's teeing off a hole 1, there technically are 0 waves. It's hard to determine what would be a wave versus another golfer. Like here, I'll show you for example. So game 1 is 12:35 a.m. and this is Central Standard Time. If I were to use their local time, my whole input file, my the file that puts all this together would just be messed up. So I kept it Central Standard Time. So the first tee time, it's 12:35 a.m. If I scroll down to where the first PM time is, like the quote unquote PM time, it's 5 hours later. This lineup here is only 11 minutes after what I have for AM, the last AM golfer. So there isn't technically a wave. However, if you wanted to come to the cheat sheet and, put filters on here and sort it out, you might be more interested in like these golfers here. And you can kind of see the colors over here. We'll talk about the Marquee Tee Times, but you'd be more interested in these golfers right here. And you might want to compare those golfers versus, say, these golfers down here, the ones that are in green. Because for that's a 5-hour difference between when they play and when the golfers that I've just highlighted here, like your Brooks Koepka, Matsuyama, Wyndham Clark, Morikawa, Burns, Siwoo Kim, Scottie Scheffler, notable golfer down here, Jordan Spieth, and Cameron Young. If you are trying to figure out between those golfers and, say, these ones here, like Finau, Henley, Rahm, Fleetwood, DeChambeau, Aberg, that's where you'd want to look at the wave differences. When it comes to the other golfers that are in between, probably not. Probably don't care whatsoever when it comes to those golfers. So, again, wave stacking is going to be a little trickier this week. If you do see some golfers, if the weather's supposed to be really benign early in the morning on a Thursday, finding a golfer like Alex Noren or maybe even going back to a Tom McKibben might be a smart choice. There are some diamonds in the rough I'm sure you can find here. Obviously, we see Sungjae Im up here as well. So if it benefits playing in the morning, then do that. But again, I should mention, I think how they're going to move tee times to the next day, and it would only make sense. Like Jack Donald or McDonald is going to be your first PM golfer. You know, they're just basically, you would just cut this chunk out of AM golfers and stick them after your PM golfers. So your PMs then become your AMs, and you know, this Masahiro Kawamura group would be the first tee time off in the morning. And I could be wrong by that. Maybe they do it like split by different hours. I have no idea. I didn't look at what Friday's tee times were. So maybe if you guys know, you can post it in the chat right now. Otherwise, wave stacking, like I said, and if it does do that, like if they do it like a lot like the Masters, where like Jack McDonald's playing at 5 a.m. on Thursday, maybe his Friday tee time is maybe like, or I'm not 5 a.m. I'm sorry, I have 12:35 a.m. Central Standard Time. If his tee time Central Standard Time is 5:30 a.m., it's a 5-hour difference. Then it'll be similar to the AM PM thing. But if it's a 2 or a 3-hour difference, that's going to be a lot like the Masters. That's how the Masters does their shuffling of tee times. So I don't know. Anyone in the chat, if you want to go check it out, let me know. Otherwise, that's, again, I bring it up because I know people like to weather stack, or wave stack, I should say. There aren't really waves. Unless, yeah, there aren't waves when it comes to a particular day. So that's my 2 cents. Again, 158 golfers. I didn't even see what the cut rules are, so that's my bad. Let me look them up right now. Cut rules for the Open. The top 70 golfers, including ties, will make it to the cut to the weekend. There is no 10-stroke rule at the Open Championship. So top 70 in ties, which is great. Cool. All right. So again, like I said, I kind of want to go through this a little faster. I don't know where are we at. 27 minutes already. Yeah, that's not really faster. Anyways, let's move on to the next segment, which is pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. This is presented to you by the Fantasy Golf Pod. They already had their podcast and it was yesterday, so go check out them on replay. Apparently, they're going to go Sunday night and just do a recap. They're not going to be touts anymore. So that might be interesting for Sundays. We'll have to wait and see. When we talk about pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, the purpose of this is to look at common salary builds. And what I mean by that is just paying attention to the salaries that were in the optimal lineup or whatever other lineup that I have here. So this optimal in 2017 left $800 on the table, and it started with an $11,600 Jordan Spieth. I'm not going to name all the names. I'm just going to give you the price tag. So we got 11.6, 7.2, 6.4, 6.7, another $11,000 golfer, and then a $6,300 golfer. So basically, you could say this differently. That is 2 10K golfers, 1 7K golfer, and 3 6Ks, which is an interesting way, or just really interesting to see that, because I kind of feel this week with the 5K range and with like 90 some golfers being 6K and below, that, or I should say $6,900 and below, I feel like you could do 2 10K golfers this week. I felt that way last week and it was pretty close. We will review the Genesis Scottish Open, but seeing it here in 2017 when salaries weren't dipping into the 5K range, see that, because you're going to have a lot of your European golfers in that 5 and 6K range most often during these Open Championships because the PGA Tour players are given better odds because they're on the PGA Tour. They're technically better golfers than your DP World Tour golfers or your Euro Tour golfers. So I kind of think that might happen again this week, having these low price golfers inside the top 10. Now, I do have a Sweet Spot Optimal. That's just getting as close to the $50,000 mark. Like, it isn't anything like the Sweet Spot Optimal that I do right now, where I take into account all the pieces to the Sweet Spot process. This is back in 2017. It was just looking at salaries or lineups that get really close to $50,000. And that would have been an 11, 6, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. And again, that kind of follows the typical jingle you hear me say, where you want to start building your lineups with a 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 baseline or approach, however you want to call it. But if you were to start there and then maybe make a couple of substitutions, you're probably going to start your lineups off a better way doing that. In 2018, your optimal lineup left $300 on the table. And just to mention, there were two 10K golfers that were in second place. One was 11,000 technically, but this optimal had 10-2, 8-6, 7-4, 6-9, 8-9, and 7-7. Or a different way to say that would be a 10, 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 6, which is pretty darn close to a 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 start. But it isn't, obviously. It is not. In 2019, your optimal lineup left $400 on the table. And that started with a 7-9, 9-7, 7-8, 7-4, 9-3, 7-5. Again, that's leaving $400 on the table, 2 9Ks and 4 7Ks. That's crazy. Now, your Millie Maker winning lineup had an 11-4, 7-9, 7-8, 7-4, 9-1, and a 6-4 Justin Harding down there. So again, another way to say that would be 10K, 9K, 3 7s, and a 6K, which again is pretty darn close to following the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 approach. Obviously, there's no 8K golfer. There is an additional 7K, though. So it's like making one substitution from the 8K down to the 7K. Now, I want to say, hey, there's two golfers really close to being in the 10K range, or there are two golfers in the 10K range, but there really aren't. You had an 11-4 and a 9-7. 9-7's $300 away from being inside the 10K range. So again, we're seeing very close to stars and scrubs lineups when it comes to the Open Championship. Keep an eye out for that. I haven't really reviewed this much, so I'm also kind of going through this, looking at this for the first time while talking to you guys. In 2021, your optimal lineup left $1,500 on the table. I do not suggest doing that. I think that's fool's gold. Don't do it. But your optimal had 92, 97, 93. So 3 9K golfers to start out with, and then a 6-5, 6-7, 7-1. So that's 1 7 and 2 6s. Now, they scored the most DraftKings points, but obviously you've got this wide range of finishing positions. Your Millie Maker lineup that year left $200 on the table and went 9, 9, 9, 7, 7, 7, which is crazy. A more realistic optimal, so this is basically trying to get as many of your golfers inside the top 10 as you possibly can and getting as close to the $50,000 salary. That'd be a 9, 9, 9, 6, 6, 8. So 2021, very weird, very odd. 2022, optimal left $100 on the table. 9-5, 7-8, 9,000, 8-6, 69, and $8,100. Again, that left $100 on the table. So 2 9s, 2 8s, a 7, and a 6. Believe it or not, that's very, very close to following the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 method. Obviously, you have 2 9Ks instead of having a 10 and a 9. And then you have 2 8Ks with 1 7 and a 6. Obviously, that 1 8 could be, could very easily be subbed down to a 7. And quite frankly, can I actually build a 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 here? Let's see. 10, 9, 7, 8, 6. I would need $6,600. So this would be just a bit over. Oh, nope. I could actually do that. No, I can't. So I could build a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, which is a very common optimal lineup build. Moving to 2023, which was last year, your optimal lineup left. Sorry, let me go back. Yeah, I didn't even talk about the GPP winning lineup. My bad. So for in 2022, your GPP winning lineup had a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. There you go. That's your kind of the same premise that I was just saying. 2023 optimal lineup left $2,000 on the table. 7, 7, 8, 11, 7, 6. Yep, that left $2,000 on the table. Your Millie Maker lineup had almost 5 of those golfers. 7, 7, 8, 7, 11, 9, and a 7, 9. $7,900 Adam Scott down there. That was your Millie Maker lineup. Now, I did keep track of the Sweet Spot Optimal. So your Millie Maker lineup last year scored 533.5. 533.5, and the Sweet Spot Optimal scored 535.5. So you could have won $1 million if you followed this lineup last year, and that was an 11K golfer, a 9K, 3 7s. So we're replacing one of those 8s with another 7, and then a 6. So that'd be a 10, 9, 3 7s, and a 6. And you would have left $400 on the table. So one thing that right away stands out to me are there are no shortages of 10K golfers inside the top 10. So this is 2023. If I go to 2022, we've got Rory and Spieth. Those are 2 10K golfers and a 9. How about that? Let's just I'll do 10s and 9s. I'm going to just highlight all the 10s and 9s. I mean, holy crap. 2022 had nothing but 10s and 9s inside the top 10 leaderboard. Not so much when it comes to, I mean, I guess Tommy Fleetwood technically did finish inside the top 10. So it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 golfers in 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 2022. In 2021, 9K, 9K, 10K, 9K. There's 4. Here's a 10K 5, another 10K 6. So you had 10, a combination of 10 and 9Ks. In 2019, 9K, 10K, 9K. I'm not going to count Rahm, Molinari, and JT, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it. If we were to expand it to the top 11 golfers, we can add 6 more golfers to the mix in 2019. In 2018, you had one 10K here, another 10K, another 10K, and that's it. So you only had 3. And yeah, if I were to expand it to 12, then I had 1 more, which I'm not going to do. And then 2017, you had your most expensive golfer on the top. We had another 10K in there, a 9K, and that's it. So yeah, you do have your mixes of 10s and 9s. Now, let's just count the 10s. 2 in 2017. In 2018, 3. In 2019, 1, but if you extend it to 11, you have 2. 2021, we have 1, 2, 3. In 2022, you had 1, 2. You only had 2 in 2022. And then 2023, you had 2 as well. So, like I said, building with 2 10K golfers, especially with the 5K range that we have in play, seems like a very valid option doing this year. And I think that's what I'm going to do, honestly. When we get to lineup building, and tomorrow during the members only video, when I'm building lineups, I can already see myself. Like I'm not going to hide this from everybody. A lot of my lineups, I think I'm starting with Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Aberg, like I did last week at the Genesis. I was expecting more wind to happen, and I didn't get to watch a lot of the Genesis Scottish Open. Apparently there wasn't a lot of wind. So golfers like Collin, Kawa, and Sung J M, who I thought were going to struggle in the wind, ended up doing well because there was no wind. And obviously Ludwig and Rory did well at the Genesis Scottish Open, but I also just anticipate they're going to do well this week also, especially if the wind is up. So, little known fact, Rory McIlroy is one of the best wind players on the PGA Tour. I know he has a high apex, but that doesn't matter. Golfers flight shots whenever they need to. Like, the best golfers have all of the shots. And just having a low apex doesn't make you a low ball. I mean, it makes you a low ball hitter, but it doesn't benefit you that much. It just, there's more that I can talk about that. I'm not going to, bore everyone right now. We can talk about that when we're building lineups. But let's move on to a review of the Genesis Scottish Open, which I don't have a transition for. But before I get into the sweet spot process of the Open Championship, let's take a look at how well it did during the Genesis Scottish Open, so you guys have a little bit more confidence when looking at the sweet spot process this week. Now, I like to go to the summary page right away and show you kind of this little bucket. This is this year's totals, and you're going to find if those buckets were successful in this column that I've highlighted. Now, there is a caveat to this. As I scroll down, I'm gonna let you know. So you can see there are 4 no's. And I was already skeptical that the bucket system might not be as successful at the Genesis Scottish Open because we only had 3 PGA Tour years. And what I mean by that is only 3 years was the Scottish Open played as a PGA Tour event. So prior to that, it was just a DP World Tour event. And I don't have any of the stats from the DP World Tour. So I don't know what golfers were, how they were playing before heading into the event. I didn't know what their course history was. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I didn't really have a full, I guess what we call a full array of data to really analyze. However, it did pretty good. And I'm going to show you that the Sweet Spot Optimal would have taken down the GPP lineup or winning lineup. But just to show you where the nuance comes with these buckets is a perfect example is course history 6. You can see that this bucket was not successful because 0 golfers finished inside the top 10 or, in the optimal lineup or the Sweet Spot Optimal. Well, course history 6 means golfers haven't played that tournament ever before. And when you have a limited amount of years and a limited amount of data, your outliers you haven't been able to kind of push out the outliers. The outliers are included in everything. So this bucket was a high bucket total in the past. You can see 54 golfers on average had been playing there. It was only 36. I shouldn't say been playing there, but 54 were part of this bucket, whereas there were only 36 this last year. Here's the one big piece, though. I see it's 1.28 to 2.4. If you didn't already know this about the bucket system, you want to round down with the minimum projection, and you want to round up with the maximum projection. So how this would read for the projections is 1.28, you round down to 1. 2.14, you round up to 3. So technically that bucket is 1 to 3. And that's what goes into the calculations of what makes that a successful bucket versus an unsuccessful bucket. What I should have written into the code is I also like to look at this column right here. And this column shows that a more conservative minimum projection or a max projection should have been 1.93, which would only round up to 2. And if you know the rules from previous videos that I've gone through, if the maximum is less than 2, then the minimum automatically has to be 0. So how this bucket really truly reads is 0 to 3. And I had this in the optimizer, which I don't have. I always overwrite the old optimizer with the new optimizer with the new data that I have. But if you were to look at your optimizer that I sent you guys last week, you're going to see that it was a 0 to 3 bucket, which means this would be successful. So this no should be changed to a Y. Now, another thing that I can already see is the 9K range. Your projection is 0 to 2. Now, because writing code and stuff like that can get challenging at times, I can't put that in this formula, apparently. I thought I did. I thought I updated it. Maybe I just didn't copy and paste it over when I should have, or I have no idea why it's not showing up as a yes. But this bucket was technically successful also. Again, I understand it is one of those, confusing things. And then the strokes gained bucket 4 down here. This is pretty darn close to a 0 to 3. Technically, it still is a 1 to 3, so that bucket did fail. But I'm pretty sure I wrote that into the optimizer as a 0 to 3 just because I don't care for the strokes gained 4 bucket. It's negative off the tee and positive putting is what makes up that bucket. And just seeing how close that was to having a minimum as 0, I probably put it as a 0 when it came to the... Yeah, that's right. The Sweet Spot Optimal, there are 0 golfers in that bucket. So I changed that to a 0 to 3. Reason being, you got to use your eyeballs, look at the golfers that are in the bucket compared to other years that bucket has been successful and determine it from there. So I did make that a 0 to 3. So technically this one, or that bucket, this bucket, and this bucket, all were successful, meaning only one bucket was not successful. Now, to just prove to you that you could build a lineup following the whole Sweet Spot rules, I have one here. Now, you would have had to have left $800 on the table, but when I send you the optimizer, that is the minimum salary range, is $49,200. And I even mentioned this during the live video last week. We had seen at the Genesis Scottish Open, you wanted to leave a lot of money on the table, or at least that's what previous years has shown, is leave money on the table. I think a large part of that is you have a lot of DP World Tour golfers that are popping up into the top 10s of these leaderboards, and it's very difficult to kind of forecast that, or even difficult to, I guess forecast would be the right word, or maybe even predict. The only true European golfer that kind of popped out of nowhere was this Romain Langesque. Finishing 3rd, he was in the optimal lineup. Now, if you remove him, you've got nothing but PGA Tour players. You got 78, 73, Robert McIntyre, should say Adam Scott, Theegala, Morikawa, McIlroy, Aberg, Rye, Clark, Connors, Victor Perez, Alex Noren. Richard Mansell, I guess, technically, is a DP World Tour golfer. Him and Romain Langesque. Those are the only 2. So it doesn't really play out the way that I kind of said it was going to. It's worth mentioning. Wow. It's worth mentioning that Ludwig Aberg kind of gagged it away on Sunday. He should have probably won that tournament. He had a lead going into the final day. Shot +3. Robert McIntyre, I think, shot under par. Robert McIntyre won the tournament. If you were to have a 10-5 golfer up here, I bet you he would have been in the optimal lineup, the Sweet Spot Optimal, and that probably would have pushed it closer to $50,000 versus $49,200. But just to speed this up a little bit, your Sweet Spot Optimal scored 692, your GPP winning lineup scored 684, and your Optimal scored 716. So the Sweet Spot Optimal, if you left $800 on the table, you would have taken down the GPP. So the Sweet Spot process also takes into account one last thing. So obviously it's the bucket system, but they're also the Marquee Tee Times. Just butchered the grammar there, but you know what I'm all saying. You know what I'm saying. Marquee Tee Times. Every third golfer is technically a group. I butchered that so bad. What the hell was that? Every 3 golfers are in a group that I'm highlighting right here. These are your Marquee Tee Times. They're the best groups in the field that played Thursday, Friday together. That's what the Marquee Tee Times are. I can't believe I butchered that so bad. The rule here is, and I do this every single week, I show it to you. You want to select 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and you do not want to play golfers that are in the same tee time with each other. So that first group, you see Robert McIntyre, Rory McIlroy, and Victor Hovland were in a group. Now, Rory finished 4th. He was not in the optimal lineup, and he was not in the GPP win lineup. He also was not in the SweetSpot optimal. So you'd still just only want to choose Robert McIntyre. Now, obviously, Rory could have won the tournament, and McIntyre could have finished 4th. McIntyre would have been in the optimal lineup with Rory, but that's not how it goes. So McIntyre and Morikawa from the Marquee Tee Times are in the optimal lineup. They're also in the GPP winning lineup, and they're also in the SweetSpot optimal. So 2 golfers, like I said, you want to select 2 to 4. 2 to 4 golfers, and there you have it. Now you have 3 GPP winning golfers that are in these Marquee Tee Times. Robert McIntyre, Wyndham Clark, and Collin Morikawa. And then in your SweetSpot optimal, you got Robert McIntyre, like I said before, Collin Morikawa, Tom Kim, and Sungjae Im down here. Those are your 4 golfers in the SweetSpot optimal that, again, beat the GPP winning lineup following the SweetSpot process. So last week, pretty much how I do this every single week is I compare with the SweetSpot optimal, the best lineup you could build following the SweetSpot process. And I compare it against the GPP winning lineup. If it beats the GPP winning lineup, that's all that we care about is if we follow the process, do we take down a GPP? The answer is yes. The answer was yes. Last week, the answer was yes. I think just about every week this year except for one. There's only been one week where the SweetSpot optimal did not take down a GPP. But of course, we are trying to hit the optimal lineup, but sometimes it's impossible to. You got to leave a lot of money on the table, and I certainly don't advise for that, and I don't suggest you should. So anyways, that would be your review of the Genesis Scottish Open. We are 6 minutes away from the first roll call, but let's just do that right now. Okay. How about this? Everyone that's here in chat, see 13 of you. Oh, is there another podcast going on right now? I wonder. Seems light for an open championship. For those that are in the chat, just say hello. Hello is the first roll call that I want you guys to do. HE double hockey sticks O. Hello. That's all that I need you guys to say, and you will get credit for the first roll call. HELLO. Bobby BS, what's going on? Nice to see you in the chat. Barry R, always nice. Barry, you won the weekly giveaway. I don't know if you saw that. I have not looked at chat. I'll have to go back and take a look. Ryan Thomas, what's going on, man? Nice to see you here. I think it might be the first time I've seen your name, or maybe it's the second. AJ Love, nice to see you. I saw you guys were talking about Eric Carnivore's food. Philip Hall is here early this week. Nice to see you. Lombardi Lee, Joanne, how's it going? Speaking of Eric Carnivore, there he is. All right, let me know if I missed anybody. I don't think I did. And let me double check the chat. By the way, everything's working this week. The music, the sound effects. Of course, got to give everyone this one here because this is one of the best ones.
Oh, you gotta get them that hot tour and spit on that thing. You get me?
Love the Arnold one. Let's see here. I saw someone win money. AJ Love. Last week was my best week this year. Won $90. That's awesome, dude. That's really good. Why did I pick all pitchers for the MLB Star or All-Star game? Killing me. Are they just sending moonshots over the fence? Is it a home run derby? Eric Carnivore goes evening. Sup Lombardi Lee and AJ Love. Really bad storms here now. I might lose power. Oh, that sucks, AJ. We had storms come through, dude. It's rained so much this summer where I live. So much. If I didn't play Bez and played Norin, I would have hit big. Damn, dude. I might be in Hawaii right now. Carnivore saying he's finishing up a couple ribeyes and ready for picks. Yeah. If you haven't followed him on the Instagram or the Twitter, he's always posting food. It usually looks really good. AJ Love hitting some emojis. Guess what? I have room to build another emoji. What do you guys suggest? What kind of emoji should I put in there? I was thinking like there'd be some fun ones. Like I was thinking of maybe doing like, you know how, what is it, Waggle, or maybe, I don't know if it's Barstool, where you have the goat that's dressed up in tiger stripes. Would that be interesting to have as an emoji? Like it would just be a SweetSpotDFS specific emoji. What kind of emoji would you like to have? Oh, AJ's letting Barry know that you won the giveaway. Josh Maz, what's going on, man? Can't predict baseball. Clown music will set you straight, Darbo, as Barry R says. Hey, the clown music is working. We got it there, or we got it. All right, cool. So we got all of the giveaways. I've caught up with chat. I should say all the giveaways. All of the roll calls. Let's move into the bucket system for. You want a Hawk Tua emoji? I could certainly do that. An Arnold Hawk Tua face. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I could just do like a Hawk Tua with like a the spitting emote, like the 3 spit thing or whatever. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Could also do a Macho Man one. Wouldn't that be great? Where do I have it?
Maybe I am insane. Maybe I am insane. And maybe it's time for you to find out how insane I am. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. We can do a little macho.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Okay. Let's move on, like I said, to the bucket system. And I'm going to cruise through this. I'll talk about it. Now that we're reviewed the Genesis Scottish Open, let's talk about the Open Championship and start with the bucket system. Now, here's what I've learned in previous years with the Open Championship, with some of the other major championships. When you get the live golfers here and the DP World Tour golfers here, it is difficult to figure out what their recent form means. It's difficult to figure out a lot of things when it comes to the bucket system. So I'm going to give you a reason why. So, and also an apology to you guys, because it took a while for me to get all my data out there. There's a very good reason for that, because normally I just have the PGA Tour data, right? I've got the Genesis Scottish Open, the Barbasol. That's like all these tournaments that you see up here. These are my recent form pages. This is what I plan to give you guys right away when I, connect the data to the website. John Deere Classic, Rocket Mortgage, Travelers, US Open, Memorial, Canadian Open. But as you can see, there's no European Tour, no DP World Tour events there. Well, I also go through and I copy all of those ones down. So you got the BMW International, the Italian Open, the KLM Open. US Open's considered it's just a major tournament. And then you've got the Scandinavian Mixed. I don't know why I have it as VSM. Is it the Volvo Scandinavian Mixed? Maybe that's what it is. And PEO is just the European Open, but it used to be called the Porsche European Open. And because I already set that acronym as PEO, that's what that means. So I have that for all of the, European Tour golfers. So I had to data scrape that, and then I added all to one big one. So you have your PGA Tour events. I'm going to highlight all the PGA Tour events, and then the ones in between are the DP World Tour events. So how do we figure out what the recent form is? Obviously I do have buckets for this, but what I have found out is, every single year. So if I go to 2023 and we look at recent form, Brian Harman came in with decent recent form, but he's from the PGA Tour. Tom Kim came in with decent recent form. Rory McIlroy came in with phenomenal recent form. Those are all really great. You can see there are no, European Tour event golfers there or DP World Tour except for Shubhankar Sharma and Matthew Jordan. I don't know if their recent form should equate to what you see on the European Tour. And here's what I'm getting at is every single week that I do PGA Tour events, it's simple because we're only looking at PGA Tour golfers. And if on the off chance we get like some Korn Ferry golfers in there that haven't played on the PGA Tour at all that year, or even some DP World Tour golfers, I just consider them one and the same when it comes to what buckets they represent from previous years, because most PGA Tour events, you would get, a handful of golfers that come from some random tour. Here at the Open, it's like an even mix. It's not really necessarily completely even, but now that you've got the live golfers coming into this event with the DP World Tour golfers, obviously a lot of the qualifiers are here as well that are from Europe. It just really just muddies the water. And so I don't have a way to show you what a PGA Tour recent form looks like versus a DP World Tour. They're all one and the same, and how the bucket system looks at it is they treat them all the same, which I don't think is necessarily true. So all I'm trying to get at with all of this, when I look at the bucket system and what you guys can see the bucket system on the cheat sheet, which you can either find at SweetSpotDFS.com or you can find a link for it in the description of this video. All these minimums I pretty much set to 0. Like you're not going to see 0 on the bucket system, but I'm going to set the minimums when it comes to the optimizer either to 0 or 1. So one of the best scenarios of this might be this last year 1 bucket. So last year 1 says 1.69 to 2.89. I don't know who all represents that bucket. I just want it to be 0. Because, again, this has more to do with the live golf than it actually has to do with the DP World Tour, especially at majors. I don't know where to put some of these guys. I don't know, it makes things challenging, put it that way. So you're going to see this on the optimizer when I send it to you. Like Course History 3 says 1 to 4 and Course History 2 says 0 to 3. I'm pretty sure Course History 2 is supposed to be 1 to 3 and Course History 3 is supposed to be 2 to 4. It might still be 1 to 4, but I think that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, so when we take a look, like I told you before, we always want to round down with the minimums, round up with the maximums. So 1.48 would round down to 1, 2.47 would round up to 3. So technically the Course History 2s are supposed to be 1 to 3. Your Course History 3s are supposed to be technically 1 to 4, so that actually does work out. I think maybe it's down here with the recent forms. Yeah. So these 3 buckets right here, recent form 1, 2, and 3. This first one says 1.26 to 2.11. That's technically 1 to 3. I go to the recent form ones, you're going to see it says 0 to 3. And I'm talking about the optimizer. When we look at recent form twos, it says 2.35 to 3.92. This would round down to 2. This would round up to 4. But when we look at the optimizer, I have it set to 1 to 4. And then recent form 3, I have 0 to 3, which technically it's supposed to be 1 to 3. And again, the reason I'm doing this is I don't track live recent form. And technically, I really don't track DP World Tour except for the Open Championship. I've done that for years. But I'm finding more inconsistent results when it comes to building DraftKings lineups, trying to follow the bucket system 100% strict when it comes to just the Open Championship. I looked at previous videos of mine. I think in my review video from last year, I said, yeah, maybe I just don't do that. So, and what I mean by that is I don't follow the bucket system 100%, strict wise. I'm going to keep the maximum set because I do believe in the maximums. It's just if you were to set the minimums to this, you're almost ensuring you're going to pick PGA Tour golfers over DP World Tour golfers as well as Live Tour golfers, which I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. And again, Live is so difficult in trying to handicap and trying to forecast. So I have just watered down the minimums in the optimizer, and I'm just planning on doing it. I'm planning on playing it that way. I will give boosts on the metrics when it comes to the optimizer for certain golfers I think are playing a little bit better, like say Tyrrell Hatton, for instance. Obviously, he's been playing some good golf, and everything kind of points to the direction that he's going to play well at this tournament. Now, I could say the same thing about like Cam Smith. Cam Smith doesn't really get a lot of love in my model because, well, he didn't have a super great U.S. Open. He doesn't have any recent form outside of that one tournament because he's on the Live Tour. So I'm probably going to give him a little bit of love. And there are going to be other golfers down here. Like, look at Joaquin Niemann in my model, 625.43. Well, he's not in any of the buckets that really matter. But if you wanted to play Niemann, you're going to have to somehow navigate around those strict bucket conditionals, which, again, I have softened. They're watered down. The maximums are still set the way that they are in the bucket system, but the minimums I have watered down. So really, I just have a couple instances where I want the optimizers to select at least one golfer from each of these buckets. And that's if you're following along on the cheat sheet, again, you can find the cheat sheet from the link in the description or on the website, SweetSpotDFS.com. If you do follow the bucket system, like how I usually, show you guys how to use it, I wouldn't do it this week outside of just looking at the maximums. So this is how I normally would do it. I would tell you like, hey, for last year ones, again, round down with the minimum. So you want 1, round up with the maximum, you want 3. And then I'd go into the DK page, sort by salaries up to bottom. And then we look at the last year one bucket together. Or at least I tell you guys you should look at the last year one bucket. It's like we got Rory, Xander, Jon Rahm, Hovland, Hatton, Fleetwood. It's kind of easy to pick at least one of these guys, right? So even if I'm telling the optimizer, like, hey, I do not want to select one of these guys, it's going to anyways because they're the best golfers in the field. So I don't have to set it to one, but just the golfers that I have highlighted, you probably want to play one of those guys at least. So that's how I would show you guys how to use the bucket system, and you still can use the bucket system that way. I'm just going to soften the minimums for me and while I'm building lineups for you guys. And then the other thing that I would show you typically in these videos are the anchor buckets, which is basically using the condition on Google Sheets called greater than or equal to 2, or greater than or equal to, and then I say 2. And then the bucket totals basically select everything under 30. which this one does not. But we can do something like this, 30 and below. And these would technically be the, you know, the sweet spot anchor buckets. But anything that, if I were to select everything, technically all of these buckets are anchor buckets. It's telling you want to play at least one golfer from this bucket, except for the last year fives, because this conservative projection over here is less than 2. So technically, you want to play at least one golfer that top 20 last year at the Open Championship. You also want to play one golfer, at least one golfer, who top 20 last week, whether that was the John Deere Classic, or not the John Deere, I'm sorry, no. The ISCO, the ISCO that was played in Kentucky, or a guy who top 20'd at the Genesis Scottish Open. But let's be real, you're going to probably play one guy from here regardless, because the choices are, they're abundant for like good golfers to choose from. Last week 6, golfers who did not play last week. Well, there's a bunch of those guys, including Scottie Scheffler. So it's easy to say, yeah, you want to probably play one of those guys. Course history 2, 1 to 3. Course history 3. And these are just guys with decent course history. I think you probably find a lot of those golfers easily. And then all the recent forms that I was just talking about, 1, 2, and 3, those are anchor buckets. Those are the best, like golfers coming in with the best recent form. You probably want to choose from those selections first. And then I get into salary and stroke gain stats, which I don't have to talk about. But that's what I'm going to round out the bucket system with. There isn't really much, like I said, I'm being this is the one week where I'm not going to be as strict with the bucket system as I typically am. So, one thing that I forgot to mention, I was going to jump into the Marquee Tee Times, but one thing I forgot to mention were the combo buckets from last week. So if I were to go to this tab, talking about the combo buckets, because the bucket system is incorporated in the combo buckets, on all the combo buckets they are combinations of all the buckets together, and then I am totaling up how many of those combinations that golfer is a part of that have shown previous success inside the top 10 of leaderboards. And it's not so much just the top 10, it's really specific. It's looking at optimal lineup golfers as well as GPP winning lineup golfers. So it's all baked in. So basically, Adam had one at $6,500 that you see on the screen. Now it says 7K combo buckets, but you got to remember this is the price conversion. This is considered, or the price conversion is built into these combo buckets. So $6,500 Adam Hadwin is technically a 7K golfer in previous tournaments. So I count him as such. And you can see Ryo Hisatsune, the same thing, $6,300. I consider him a 7K golfer from previous DraftKings contests, because he would have been. So both of those golfers have a sum total over here of 13. Now, if you look at each of their combos here, course history last year, course history recent form, course history last week, these are all of the buckets, but they're all combinations of them. So there have been 4 instances at the Genesis Scottish Open, 4 of them, where Adam Hadwin, the same course history that he has, which is none, 0 course history, with no finish last year. Now that's kind of a silly thing to add together, but when you add those things together, you're going to find out that, you know, that's a combination that shows up inside the top 10 frequently. It isn't to say, and now that I kind of think about this, course history in last year, if there are empties, you probably should just ignore them, to be quite honest. I just noticed that right now, because that kind of, it really skews the sum totals. I'd have to look further into it. Just don't mind me. I'm thinking out loud. But anyways, so that would mean there were 4 instances where golfers with that course history in last year finish, or in that course history in last year bucket, finish inside the top 10. Same goes with course history in recent form. So his recent form of being in the 50s, you can see that the same thing as with Rio. That has shown up inside the top 10 3 times. And you go down the list, you see at least one time for each of the combos that this golfer has been a part of. And then you get a sum total at the end. It just shows, hey, this golfer's been a part of more combinations of buckets inside the top 10 than any other golfer for the 7K salaries. And typically how we've seen this work out is you want to select 1 to 2 golfers from tier 1, 0 to 2 from tier 2, and 0 to 1 from tier 1. Well, let's see how that looks. Alex Noren finished 10th. So selecting 1 to 2, that's a check mark. Boom. Finished inside the top 10. Wasn't in the optimal lineup, wasn't in the GPP winning lineup, was not in the sweet spot optimal, but you still could have played them and it still would have worked out for you. And then when we come down to this tier 2, we want 0 to 2. There's only one guy worth considering, and that was Adam Scott. He was in the optimal lineup, he was in the sweet spot, and he was in the GPP winning lineup. We go down to tier 3. There's one guy who finished inside the top 10. That was Victor Perez. One guy. And I'm telling you, 0 to 1 from tier 3. So this week, the 7K combo buckets for the Genesis Scottish Open, they were successful. Now, I will mention that I will update. I don't know what the dramatic pause was there. After this video, after I'm done streaming, I will go in here and update the 7K combo buckets with the Open Championship. I already have them done. They're already done. So all I have to do is upload them to the website, publish them to this page, and you'll have them. Again, I'll have that done tonight. Looking at, well, I have to pull up the members only. My apologies. The members only page has the 10, 9, 8, and 6K combo buckets. So if we were to take a look at those, you're going to see similar success that you just saw with the 7K combo buckets. Now the 9K range didn't do so hot, but here in the 10K range, I don't have a dividing tier as you've seen in previous combo buckets, because they're all, you see the sum total, they're pretty much the same. But the one that they're all the same. They all finished inside the top 20. I already knew, like I told you last week, I wanted to pair up 2 10K combo guys, or 2 10K golfers, because it just, like I said, Rory and Ludwig were my favorite combo of builds last week. And I did that in my members only video. I was telling you guys, I have a really strong feeling that Ludwig and Rory were going to be the choices. Now, if that's the case, you kind of have to skip the 9K combo buckets, believe it or not. You're just going to have to. But Tom Kim was in the sweet spot optimal. So if you follow the 7K combo bucket, like the rules that I've kind of settled for that, it'd be 1 to 2 out of tier 1, 0 to 2 out of tier 2, and 0 to 1 out of tier 3. And that's kind of what you got here. Tom Kim was in your sweet spot optimal. Corey Connors would have been a great choice. He finished 10th. But this would have been a 0 to 2 selection, and this would be a 0 to 1. Hovland and Fitzpatrick didn't do anything for us last week. So, you know, the 9K combo buckets did pretty well. And then here's the really good test. So if you follow the 7K combo buckets, like I had shown you before, 1 to 2 from tier 1. Well, Wyndham Clark and Robert McIntyre were in the GPP winning lineup. Only McIntyre was in the sweet spot optimal as well as the optimal. But either way, however you want to look at it, Max Homa finished 70th. You did not want to play him. So technically the max was 2 and definitely the minimum was 1. It worked out. 0-2 for the next tier. You have Theegala, who finished 4th, Connors, who finished 10th. You have Connors twice? Oh, that's a mistake. I should not have Connors in there twice. Connors would be, I mean, if I wanted to include him here anyways, why would I have included him? I don't remember what the, it was 9,000. 9,000 and above. So that was just a conditional error when I was, so he shouldn't have been up here, by the way. He should not have been in the 9K range. Connors should be down here in the 8K range. So that still furthers my proof. 0 to 2 from that middle range, 0 to 2 from the bottom range. from tier 2, tier 3, I should say. And then here in the 8K combos, you got 1 to 2 from here. Obviously, we already went over that. 0 to 2 from here. That works out. And then you want 0 to 1 down here. Now, that's where it gets tricky because you got 2 golfers who finished in 4th place. You got Sungjae Im, who is in the Sweet Spot Optimal, as well as the Optimal. And you have Aaron Rai, who is in the GPP winning lineup. So that one's a bit more questionable. You still could have followed the whole process, like I said. Sweet Spot Optimal follows everything, like I said, when it goes over, when I compare it against the GPP winning lineup. And then the 6K combo buckets, this is one of those things that are kind of just a work in progress. I don't really, you never fall in love with the 6K golfer. And I've changed the 1 to 2 to 0 to 2. So 0 to 2 from tier 1, 0 to 2 from tier 2, and 0 to 1 from tier 3. And here's the wonderful thing. It follows suit perfectly. Mateo Monacero finished 15th. Wonderful. Nicholas Norgard, he finished 15th. Wonderful. You also have a 10th and a 15th down here as well. And this is all tier 2. And then you have Romain Langesque, who was in the optimal lineup, as well as a Sweet Spot Optimal. None of those other 6K golfers in tier 2 that I was just showing you were in any of those. Like, yeah, they finished inside the top 20, but only Romain was in the optimal and the Sweet Spot Optimal. And then if you look at tier 3, all duds, all of them. So those are the combo buckets. Again, you can find this at SweetSpotDFS.com under the members only tab. And if you want to become a member, you can either do it on the login page when you register, or you can go to the home page and change your membership that way, or sign up. And then you get these combo buckets. Again, I will update this after the stream with the Open Championship combo buckets. Okay. That's all that I had to say about that when it comes to the combo buckets. Now we can get into the Marquee Tee Times. Taking a look at the time, making sure that we're still on track. And we're going to be building lineups here shortly. What I want you to focus in on are the exact rules I'm about to tell you. When we go over the Marquee Tee Times, you want to select 2 to 4 golfers that are in the Marquee Tee Times, and you do not want them playing together. So there are 9 Marquee Tee Times. The first group is Bryson DeChambeau, Ludwig Aberg, and Tom Kim. That's group number 1. Group number 2 is Scottie Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Cam Young. Group 3 is Rory McIlroy, Tyrrell Hatton, Max Homa. Group 4 is Hovland, Brian Harman, Theegala. Group 5 is Rahm, Fleetwood, Bobby Mack. Group 6 is Tony Finau, Matthew Pavone, Russell Henley. Group 7 is Collin Morikawa, Sam Burns, Siwoo Kim. Group 8 is Brooks Koepka, Matsuyama, and Wyndham Clark. And then Group 9 is Jason Day, Benny Ann, and Ricky Fowler. So, if you're to select 2 to 4 golfers, here's how this works. Say you like Bryson DeChambeau. He's your guy this week. That means you do not pair him up with Ludwig Aberg or Tom Kim. You just don't do that. Likewise, if Ludwig is your guy, you don't pair him up with Tom Kim or Bryson DeChambeau. But if Ludwig is your guy, like he's my guy, I can also pair him up with Rory McIlroy. Like I said, I kind of want to do. Like I still feel that way. I want to pair up Rory with Ludwig, and I can because it allows me to because of the Marquee Tee Times. Now, if that wasn't the case, if you didn't want to do that, and say you like Tom Kim a little bit more because of salary reasons, and you like Tyrrell Hatton a little bit more because of salary reasons, you could certainly do that as well. And then you can pair him up with whoever you want. Tommy Fleetwood, if you want. Collin Morikawa. Those 4 golfers, Tom Kim, Tyrrell Hatton, Fleetwood, and Morikawa, you can put those guys together. That's 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and they're not playing together. So that's how that works out. And again, when we go through this, I mean, people in chat, I ask this question all the time. How often does it work out? Like if you were to put a percentage of how successful the Marquee Tee Times, the rules that I've established, selecting 2 to 4 golfers, how often do you see that when we review videos that they are in either the optimal lineup, the GPP winning lineup, or the sweet spot optimal. Like, I mean, the sweet spot optimal is always, so it's 100%. But how often do you see it when it's the optimal or the GPP? Like, at least 2 guys and no more than 4. What's going on, JK? Nice to see you here. Oh, Dennis Ames saying the hello. We'll throw you in there. We'll throw you in the giveaway. JK, you say hello. I'll get you into the roll call as well. I guess you already did. You said what's up. That works. Anybody else that wants to get in the giveaway, just say hello. If you haven't already. Only if you haven't already. And actually, everyone that's in chat right now, what I want you all to do is I'm going to bring back the Marquee Tee Times. I'm going to make it a little bit cleaner for you all to look at. And I'm going to start gathering lineups, or gathering golfers to build lineups for. So all I want you to do is give me 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times you see right there. I'm going to go ahead, bring this up, and of course I already forgot to timestamp everything, so I'll just start timestamping the things right now. We are on to lineup building. I do have Gabe's in here first, but I want you guys to start giving me 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times you see right here. And we're going to start building lineups. Again, do not pair golfers up together. Just warning you right now, don't do it. I will give you guys 4 minutes to build lineups with, and only members, so you got to be a red tier or above. Only members are going to get a timestamp, so you can come back into the video and check out when your lineups were built. So only members only, red tier above, and red tier is only $1.99. White tier is $4.99, and if you become a white tier member, you will get $5 off a monthly membership at SweetSpotDFS.com. So, Nuke One Live, all right. Darrel Mooney says 95% of the time 2 to 4 and not paired up. I think so, man. I think that's about the number that I've seen as well. JK, it's good to see you too, sir. Josh Allen already given me his duo. Josh Allen, Aberg, and Young. Darrel Mooney. He wants McIlroy, Harman, and Sharma. Oh, wow. I have to ask, Mr. Why Sharma? I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick. You might know something that I don't know. Is Shabanka on is he on the DP World Tour, or is he a live golfer? Pick my guys random? Oh, geez. Okay. Pick them random. We can do that. That's fine. Scottie, Rahm, and Connors for Barry. I like that. You know what's sad? Last week, only one person decided to anchor around Robert McIntyre. Isn't that sad? None of us knew. I mean, he wasn't showing up in my model very well. Ryan Thomas wants Scottie and Finau. Philip wants Clark, Finau, and Theegala. Bobby BS. Bobby, is it Bobby B's or is it Bobby BS? 1 or 2? Bobby B's is 1. Bobby BS is 2. Just letting everyone know in chat that I'm just taking down everyone's lineup considerations. That's why it's taking a little long. Bobby BS. Okay, cool. I will always call you Bobby BS from now on. I also just wanted to call you Bobby BS anyways. Just so whenever you're getting out of line, I can just call BS on you. Darrel says course history and recent form. Loved how he looked last week. Okay. Cool. That was for Sharma. Shabankar. I don't remember how you say his last name or his first name. J.K. Lawrence. Berg? You mean Oberg? Mr. J.K.? And Bobby Mac. Rmac. We can call him Rmac. Sending love. I see that as I'm looking at everyone. Yeah, Gabe, I got you, man. You're my first dude. Oh, Josh. I didn't even see you, Joshua Maz. You're always being a ninja in the chat. DeChambeau and Young. Actually, no. Sprinkle of Adam Headwind and Pavon. Well, you're going to have to remind me when we get there, okay? All right. I think I got everybody. Hey, we're 8 likes away from me giving out free memberships. So if you're in the chat and you've not yet liked this stream and you're not yet a member, or you'd like to see someone get a membership, like the video. I do need to add somebody to we got Nuke One Live. There we go. Do I need anyone else added to this? I think I got everybody, right? Let me know if I haven't. I think that's everybody.
Very good. Okay, very good.
19 likes. There we go. We got 2 more. So we're 6 away from me giving away 5 free memberships. Let's bring this back just to have as our background. Actually, probably just the giveaways, I suppose. But I've got everybody in here right now. We turn the music on. Get to jamming. And we are going to start with Gabriel Brown and doing a Rory, Kawa, Clark. So let me go ahead and put them in here. Rory, Kawa, and Windy of the Sea variety. Okay. I'm gonna have to change the max ownership. And I forgot how this worked out last week. I think I want probably 100% a lot of these golfers, but then not 100% others. So I think what I'm going to do is go 100% to the 10Ks. I'm going to 50% the 9Ks. All the way down to the 8Ks. Well, 50% those. And then I'm going to 25% 7Ks. And the reason I'm doing all this is I don't want to see the same golfers. I don't think you guys want to see the same golfers. So that goes all the way down to the 7Ks. And then I think it's going to be, I think I stick to about 4% for the 6Ks. I just want to see different golfers. When it gets down to here, it's not going to matter. Honestly, we want to see differences. I will add a wrinkle to this. By the way, Darrel, appreciate you, man. Upgrading his membership to the white tier. That's awesome. Will you email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com? Just remind me that you have become a white tier member, because then I give you a discount for your monthly membership. So $5 off if you become a white tier member on YouTube. And the best thing about this is I actually see who becomes white tier members on YouTube. So I can certainly validate that, which, yeah, I appreciate. Everyone who's a white tier member, appreciate that. Actually, everyone who's just a member, appreciate it no matter what. Okay. I was on something talking about the 6K range, 5K range. Oh, I'm going to add a wrinkle. Here's the wrinkle. Give me so we're on Gabe right now. Gabe, you're in the chat. Give me 3 golfers that you would like to see that are not, like you'd want to see in your lineups that are not. Actually, not 3. So, okay, let me explain why I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Dustin Johnson is never going to get picked, ever. He's never going to get picked because his metric in my model is extremely low, 600. If you want to see Dustin Johnson played, when I say give me 2 golfers you'd like to see played, let me know and I will boost up his score. So basically, I'm going to give a boost to 2 golfers that you want me to. So DJ would be one of them. And what I would boost him up to is I'd give him like up to 900 points. It doesn't mean the optimizer is going to pick him all the time, but it would give him a boost. So if I'm building lineups and you're not seeing a certain couple dudes, be like, hey, can you boost this player or boost another player? So again, as I'm going through this, as I'm building lineups, just say boost whomever. If you want to see more of that golfer in your lineups, I can certainly boost their score. And it's all going to be within the 4 minutes that I'm going to give you guys. So am I not on the... I'm not. Why am I not? Oh, I did the bucket system thing. Okay. So 4 minutes, when this is up there, basically in these 4 minutes, that's where I'm going to let you guys boost whoever you want. Tell me who to boost and I'll give them a bit of, you know, and a lot of you guys that are watching the lineups being built, you're going to know which golfers you want boosted or not boosted. And then when it comes to your turn, I know there's a lot of, I know I'm putting a lot of things out there, but I want to give you the best lineup building experience, because when I build lineups for myself, I'm boosting golfers that I want to see more of. And you guys aren't getting that opportunity. So not only when I'm building lineups for you guys, do I want you to say pick. If you don't like a certain golfer that's showing up, pick golfer whoever, boost golfer whomever. That's kind of what I want to show you or ask you guys to do. Okay. I don't know if Gabe is here. Gabe, if you are, you know, make your presence known. If not, I'm just going to be building lineups. I'm still going to timestamp you right now and put up the timer. We're building lineups right now. So Gabe wants Rory, Collin, Kawa, and Wyndham Clark. Your first lineup is McIlroy, Kawa, Clark, Young, Davis, Thompson, and Steven Yeager. It's a pretty solid lineup. Second lineup is McIlroy, Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, Russell Henley that J.K. Lawrence just brought up, and J.T. Poston. I really like that lineup. Actually, that's a solid lineup. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this one because it's good. It's good. We should actually make that a, what do you call it? A soundboard thing. Next lineup is McIlroy, Morikawa, Finau, Clark, Ben Griffin, Mackenzie Hughes. Just solid. Morikawa, McIlroy, Clark, Harman, Batia, and Chris Kirk. That's not so bad. Morikawa, McIlroy, Clark, Young, Minwoo, and Austin Eckroat. I'm not a huge fan of Austin Eckroat this week, but it's not terrible. McIlroy, Morikawa, Clark, Harman, Straka, Mav McNeely. There's a lineup that I don't think most people are going to play because of Mav McNeely. That guy has looked so pitiful. Like, from his return from surgery or from injury or wherever he came from, he's not been great. McIlroy, Morikawa, Clark, Thomas, Justin Thomas, that is, Jason Day, and Denny McCarthy. That's a solid lineup. Holy moly. I'm gonna make this one red because I like it that much. My goal to you guys is to build you 10 lineups within the time, just to let you all know. So if some of you are like, oh, build more, I'm trying to get you 10. At least 10. McIlroy, Morikawa, Clark, Justin Thomas, Batia, and Adam Hadwin. That's also a solid lineup. I like that one. McIlroy, Morikawa, Clark, Cam Young, Akshay Bhatia, Brendan Todd. That's not terrible. That one was not terrible. I'm liking a lot of these lineups. This core that he has, that Gabe has, is pretty good. You know what I forgot to do? Forgot to, well, never mind. He didn't have a message, but he came back in and did it. CT Pan. Here's his lineup, by the way. He likes CT Pan. I don't mind CT Pan. Adding him with Brian Harman and Minwoo Lee. Hell yeah. That's a great lineup. McIlroy, Morikawa, Finau, Wyndham Clark, Glover, and Nick Taylor. Don't mind that one. It's pretty solid. McIlroy, Morikawa, Clark, Young, Batia, and Emiliano Grillo. I'm not going to save that one. Grillo, I was hoping would have done so much better last week and did not. Same with my boy Rio. Rio Hisatsune. As much as I like him. Dude, he kind of sucks. Like, recently, there's been terrible. This one's okay. With Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Batia, and Wallace. And your last one. Time is up. But the last one that comes through the finish line is McIlroy, Morikawa, Finau, Clark, Hoagie, and Sammy Valimaki. Sure. That one's actually pretty solid. I like that one. Your time is up, sir.
I think that your time is done, and I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
That's right, Macho. That's right. All right, next person. Let me go ahead and find all the way up the top. It's going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen, are you still in the chat? And are you ready to go? As soon as you say ready to go, we're going to be firing. He wants Oberg and Young, which we just saw a bunch of Cam Young. Also, by the way, here's a thing that I'll add. So when I ask you guys to boost certain players, that will also change their ownership. So then the golfer will be chosen more. Now that Josh Allen wants to play Cam Young, his ownership is going to skyrocket. And the exposure that I have him set at 25% he's just never going to be picked. So I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. If you want Cam Young, just say boost Cam Young. And if his score isn't high, I will boost his ownership. And if his ownership is like his max exposure, if that isn't high, well, I'll boost it if it isn't high. I'll boost both of them if neither of them are high. So you guys let me know. I want to make this lineup building thing as fun and as great as possible for you all. So Josh Allen, Wyndham Clark will not be selected during your lineups. If you want me to allow Wyndham Clark to be selected, I will change him to 100%. Morikawa will not be selected, nor will Rory Rory McIlroy will be. So let me know. These guys here, Harman, Minwoo, and JT, they're most likely not going to be selected either. So, I mean, they will, I guess, a few times. So never mind. Anyways, we got you time-stamped, I believe, right? Josh Allen? Yep, we sure do. All right, let me go ahead and put the timer up, and we will start building lineups. All right, here we go. First lineup with Aberg and Cam Young. We get Hovland, Finau, Connors, and Adam Scott added to the mix. That's already a sexy lineup. Holy crap. Holy. You know what? I'm going to save that twice. And I'm going to try to remember to do that going forward. Put a little break in here so I can see who the next guy that I'm building lineups is for. That one's pretty solid. AJ Love goes, I'm back. Lost power 3 times so far. Damn, dude. Oh, neighbor's house got hit by lightning? Or in the neighborhood got hit by lightning? That's nuts. This Aberg lineup has Patrick Cantlay in it, Matt Fitzpatrick, Brian Harman, Cam Young, and Corey Connors. So Connors is showing up a little bit. That's a pretty good lineup. Aberg, Cantlay, Finau, Harman, Young, Sungjae Im. I like that lineup. These are good ones so far. That's 2 Brian Harman lineups back to back. Another great one right here. Aberg, Cantlay, Finau, Young, Connors, Theegala. Aberg, Cantlay, and also again, if you don't want me to place certain people, say kick. So Cantlay's showing up a lot for you. You can say kick Cantlay and we'll lock him out. Aberg, Cantlay, Finau, Young, Homa, Connors. That one's fine. You know, I don't mind. I think I'm okay with the same price tag this week, honestly. Interesting lineup here. How many people are playing Sam Burns? But we get an Aberg, Cantlay, Finau, Young, Minwoo, Sam Burns lineup. Boost Victor Perez and no Harman. There we go. I will bring back Akshay Bhatia, but where's Harman? Harman is $7,600, so we lock him out. He wants me to boost Victor Perez. I'm gonna bring back Bhatia. Vic Perez was 6,300, I think, if I remember correctly. There he is. So he is boosted, but we can boost him up just a little bit more. And then that will also boost his ownership. And I'll bring that to 50% just because. No Cantlay. Okay. I'll have to go back and kick him out. So here's one without Cantlay. You get Xander, Aberg, Finau, Cam Young, Eric Cole, and Victor Perez. Don't mind that one. Let's kick out Cantlay. That was a late kick, but it was a kick nonetheless. Aberg, Hovland, Finau, Young, Corey Connors, and Victor Perez. There we go. That's a solid lineup. We like that one. Aberg, Hovland, Finau, Connors, Young, and Bezadenhout. I don't mind it if we know what Bezadenhout's injury status is. Aberg, Hovland, Finau, Young, Minwoo, and Billy Horschel. Sure. Did Victor Perez get the boot somehow? He did. We'll bring him back. What's going on, Mo in Tampa? Victor Perez in the boot once again. Did we save this one already? Because this one, yeah. Yep, that one's a duplicate, unfortunately. Time's up, but I'll build you. Let's see, how many did we get you? I do have 10. Let me build you one more. I'm going to bring back Connors. And I'm going to make an executive decision, and I'm going to kick out Hovland. Just to see something different. Oh, kick Connors, he says. Okay. So let me bring back Hatton, and I'll bring back Hovland. Rory Connors, he wants kicked. You got it. Aberg, Hovland, Finau, Cam Young, Minwoo Lee, and Victor Perez. That's a solid lineup, man. That's a lineup I'd be happy with. I'm not saying that to blow smoke. I really like Aberg, Hovland, Young, high ceiling guy. Finau is pretty much everyone's favorite pick this week. Cam Young, Minwoo Lee, high upside. Victor Perez, just a masher of the golf ball, high upside as well. Let me save that twice. And we will move on to the next guy. If you've not yet liked the video, 5 more likes, I will give away 5 free memberships to this YouTube channel, which will give you perks like being able to watch the live video that I'm going to put out tomorrow, as well as emojis. And matter of fact, all the people that are members that want to participate, why don't you just go ahead and throw a bunch of the emojis in the chat right now? Let's check them all out. All right, so those were lineups for Josh Allen. Josh, appreciate you. Let's take a look at the next person. It's going to be Darrel Mooney. He wants McIlroy, Harman, and Sharma. McIlroy. Harman. And Shabanka. I'm going to remove the boost to Victor Perez unless, Mr. Mooney, if you want me to keep that boost, I certainly will. I actually will keep it like this. Let me know if you want access to Victor Perez. If not, I'll just gonna leave it. Looks like you're not going to get any Cam Young love. So if you want me to boost Cam Young, I certainly can. And you're probably not going to get any more Kawa love. Not sure if you care. Oh, he'll be available to you pretty soon. Never mind. He'll show up. Who else am I seeing? Everyone else is okay. You'll have, you know, limited access to Minwoo and Corey Connors. All right. Are you ready, Mr. Mooney? I'm going to timestamp that one. After you do fuel, you switch 10K golfers. Switch to 2 10K golfers minimum for me if you don't see. No Perez, no Cantlay, and no Finau. Okay. We already got the rules. No Cantlay. Perez is probably not going to show up, but actually, you know what? I'll just go down and kick him out. He's been booted. They all been all of them have been booted.
Oh, you gotta get them that hot tour and spit on that thing. Okay. You get me?
Here we go. Timer's up. Building lineups for Darrel Mooney. We get Bryson DeChambeau. So it's already going to start with 2 10K golfers, believe it or not. Bryson, McIlroy, Harman, Henley, Adams, Scott, and Shabanka. That's wild. It's a pretty good line. I kind of like that. Oh, you're getting the Bryson Rory treatment. So you let me know right away. Do you not want Bryson? Brian Harman is in this lineup. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. You locked him in. So Davis Thompson and Benny Ann get added to the mix. Not terrible. Ooh, no Bryce in this one. We get a Rory Ludwig lineup. I love that. Harman, Connors, Sammy Burns, and Shabanka. Next one is, I already forgot who we just had, but we were replacing him with Akshay Bhatia and leaving $700 on the table, which I don't find to be that problematic this week. If you have an issue with that, you let me know. This lineup has Rory, Aberg, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harman, Keegan Bradley, and Shabanka Sharma. I don't care for Keegan. It's just going to be one lineup, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Keegan this week. Interesting lineup. Rory, Aberg, Lowry, Harman, Horschel, Shabanka. First Shane Lowry sighting, which is kind of cool. I like it. Ricky Fowler gets added to the mix. I don't mind that one. Bryson, Rory, Harman, Connor, Shabanka, and Rio. You know, if we have to add a Rio, that's fine. Sure, we'll save it. It is what it is. It's different. Rory, Ludwig, Shane, Harman, Romain Langesk, leaving $800 on the table. Holy, okay. If I keep seeing a lot of money left on the table, I'm gonna actually raise the minimum a little bit. So Darrel, 10K golfers are just abundant in your lineups. You want me to go the opposite way and only have a minimum of one 10K, I can certainly do that. This one has Bryson, Rory, Wyndham, Brian Harman, Shabanka, and then Adam Schenk. Not terrible. Rory, Collin, Morikawa, Shane Lowry, Harman, Pavone, and Shabanka Sharma. I actually like that lineup. That one's pretty solid. We like that one. 21 likes. We need 4 more. DeChambeau, McIlroy, Lowry, Harman, Sharma, and Norman. Sure. I do like Romain on my rye. Oh boy. Going back into the sandwich jokes. Bryson, McIlroy, Harman, Connor, Sharma, and Tristan Lawrence. Sure. McIlroy, Aberg, Clark, Harman, Sebastian Soderberg, and Shabanka Sharma. I don't trust Soderberg. When I was going through all the... Perfect. I like what I saw in the first few. Good, 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 good. Adrian Moronk. Okay. So Morikawa, McIlroy, Clark, Harman, Moronk, Sharma. I'm going to change the minimum salary to $49.6 just because I want to see that. Oh, I didn't mean to save it twice. Time's almost up, but let me do this. Jordan L. Smith, I will be going back to. I do not mind a golfer who has missed the cut. Sign me up. That's fine. Brooks Koepka. Look at this. McIlroy, Koepka, Lowry, Spieth, Harman, and Shabanka. I think that's a good omen. To have one Spieth lineup in there seems like it'd be a good omen. Okay. That was a lot of lineups. That was pretty good. Alrighty. The next one on the list from Darrel Mooney is Eric Carnivore saying, pick my guys random. You want to know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to pick your dudes. Well, Eric Carnivore, can you explain to me what you want me to do? Game over. Eric Carnivore has an emoji saying game over. I'm just gonna go back and see if I can read some. Okay, never mind. Eric Carnivore, do you want me to actually pick like who my favorite golfers are to build lineups around? Or do you just want me to hit run optimizer with no locks in there? We're going to bring back Shabanka down to his level. Yeah, let me know, man. I want to know exactly what you want me to do. We talked about this on X. Okay, I'll go look. No logs. Oh, dude, I forgot to post. I posted that I was going live on Twitter or on X. But I forgot to say, hey, I'm live right now. Still at 21 likes. Get up to 25. I'm gonna give away 5. Oh, he's got his new SweetSpotDFS shirt on. Hell yeah. How's it fit? Does it fit good? That's a sweet. Look at our boy. The SweetSpotDFS shirt. Love that. Oh god, the food looks good too. Hot diggity damn. I'm getting distracted. What are you talking about? We talked about this on X. I'm seeing nothing on X. You sure you ain't talking to someone else? Run OP, no locks. You got it. I'll just do it that way. This will actually bring back. This will create some interesting lineups, I'm sure. I'm just gonna run the optimizer once, I guess, without hitting the timer. Can we buy shirts? Put a 1 in chat. By the way, okay, hold on. Hold on. We are at roll call number 2. Put a 1 in the chat. Actually, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you guys are already gung-ho to do it. Don't do that. I want the 1 in chat to be something else. What am I gonna I'm dumbfounded right now. What am I gonna write? Oh. Just put SweetSpot DFS in the chat. I want to ask you a question that requires a yes or a no or a 1 or a 2. And that's all that's in my head. But I have a question to ask you guys about merchandise here. So we're gonna do roll call first, put SweetSpotDFS in the chat, and you will get an entry into the giveaway. This is roll call number 2. SweetSpotDFS in the chat. And then I'm gonna ask you if you guys want to talk about merchandise right now. If not, I can save it till later. But I was going to say, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to talk about. You could actually do that right now. Would you like me to take a break from lineup building? If so, put a 1 in chat and we'll talk about merchandise, where I could do the next merch drop. If not, you don't have to type anything, or you can type 2. But here's what I'm going to do. If I get to 5 1s and we're talking about merchandise, or we'll talk about merchandise, but every 2 that I see takes away from that total. So if there's not enough 1s, we're not going to talk about it. And if there's more 2s that take away from the 1s, we won't talk about it, because obviously this is lineup building and we got a lot of people on the list to talk about lineups. So I don't want to take away from anybody, but we can talk about merchandise if you guys want, because I've been wanting to do a merch drop forever. And a merch drop is what I meant to say. I don't know if I mumbled my words there. Okay, so those that are in chat right now, if you don't know what I'm doing, this is called a roll call. If you type in SweetSpotDFS into the chat, I will add your name to the roll call, and this gives you an additional entry into the giveaway. Later, AJ already says later. Okay. Also, just a reminder, make sure that you click the little live button on your YouTube, either your browser, on your desktop, or on your phone. Make sure you're live. Make sure you're with me while we're building these lineups. So for instance, if you don't know where that live button is, it's right here. Right down here in the bottom left. Just hit the little live button right there. Make sure that you're live with me so when I do build lineups for you guys, we are all on the same page. Merch drop after lineup building. Perfect. There we go. Bobby BS. And Joshua Maz. I'm in lineup build now. Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. Okay. We'll keep merch drop until later. Because I'm up and I'm wearing the merch straight out of Minnesota. Okay, we got it. We'll do it later. Bobby BS. I just saw your name. That's all I. It isn't your turn yet. We're on Eric Carnivore and then Lombardi Lee. You're a couple people down from the list. I'm sorry for getting your hopes up. We're right here. We're at Eric Carnivore and Bobby BS. We got what? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're on to you. Time stamping, Mr. Carnivore. We're gonna put a new timer on the board, but not before doing a Haktua.
Oh, you gotta
just
get
for
them
you.
that Haktua and spit on that thing. You get me?
All right, 4 minutes for Mr. Carnivore. First one, Victor Hovland, Cantlay, Finau, Tom Kim, Corey Connors, and Sung J.M. What a balanced lineup that one is. That's pretty good. Was reversing some 20x and heard my name. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I saw you put the SweetSpotDFS in the chat, so I was like, oh, Bobby BS, got you. Here's a good one. McIlroy, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Sahith Theegala, and Akshay Bhatia. That lineup is schmexy. We like that lineup. We like that lineup a lot. Rory, Finau, Kim, Aaron Rai, Sam Burns, Sepp Straka. Not terrible. Not terrible. Ludwig, Cantlay, Finau, Minwoo, Corey Connors, Sahith Theegala. That's pretty good as well. McIlroy, Finau, Clark, Minwoo, Aaron Rai, Sam Burns. I see your message there, AJ. We'll talk about reserving, not reversing. Look at me with dyslexia. Bobby BS goes, I was reserving some 20x, not reversing. What the hell? Next lineup for Mr. Carnivore: McIlroy, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Aaron Rai, and then Siwoo Kim. That we saw that one kind of similar. We're kicking out Siwoo this time. I think we also had Sung Jae in there at one point. Ludwig, Patrick Cantlay, Minwoo, Finau, Homa, and Rai. Not terrible. We add Corey Connors to that last one, which is that one looks good. That looks good. Ooh, I like this one too. McIlroy, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Justin Thomas, Christian Bezuidenhout. Mr. Carnivore, are you seeing things you don't want to, like say Tom Kim or Tony Finau? McIlroy, Aberg, Finau, Scott, Benny Ann, and JT Poston. That's not bad. I don't hate it. Schauffele of the Xander kind, Patrick Cantlay, Finau, Clark, Davey Boy Thompson, and Steven Yeager. That's pretty good. I like that lineup. McIlroy, Cantlay, Tom Kim, small hands Tom Kim, forgot to mention that, Minwoo Lee, Corey Connors, and Denny McCarthy. Solid. Oh, Carnivore says he's good. He likes what he sees. McIlroy, Hovland, Patrick Cantlay. Wow, that's a solid and then Wyndham Clark, Ben Griffin, and Mac Hughes. Sure. As you can see, a lot of these lineups are not including any DP World Tour guys. So if you want some of those guys boosted, we probably should talk about it when it comes to your lineups being built. Then I'm not talking about EricCarnivore in specific. I'm talking about anybody. I like this one. McIlroy, Cantlay, Tom Kim, Lowry, Henley, and Cole. Actually, I'm gonna drop the minimum. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Clark, Hoagie, Hadwin. Sure, not terrible. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Minwoo, Corey Connors, Chris Kirk. That's a ball strikers lineup if I've ever seen one. McIlroy, Cantlay, Tom Kim, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, Austin Eckroat, and I'm gonna actually just kick out Rory for now. The time's up, so I'm gonna do one more, and it starts with Ludwig, Corey, Collin Morikawa, Finau, Clark, Justin Thomas, Brendan Todd. I want to see one more. He says he wants to see a DeChambeau lineup, so I will do that. We'll see what shows up. DeChambeau, Morikawa, Finau, Clark, Grillo, and Nick Taylor. One more just for good measure. I might not save that one either. Yeah, I don't really care for that one. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, JT, and that's Justin Thomas, not Poston. Norin, Keegan Bradley. God, it seems like it could be good. Like one of these should be good, and they're all kind of garbage. DeChambeau, Hovland, Finau, Clark, Victor Perez, and Nick Taylor. Yeah, okay. Tomorrow I will build more lineups. You guys can see more lineups. Eric, I know you're a white tier member, so I'll try to build more lineups that kind of consist of some of those guys, but I'm not going to waste any more time. We'll get on to the next one. And we get to Barry R. When you tell me you're ready, I will start building lineups. You want Scottie, Rahm, and Connors. I mean, 0% Scottie so far. So this is the first Scottie, and I know we have 0% Rahm also. And he wants Corey Connors, which I think is a pretty good choice too. You are welcome, Mr. Carnivore. You are welcome.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
All right. Barry R says, let's go Darbo. Alrighty. 22 likes. We need 3 more. 3 more likes. If you're in the chat and you've not liked this, you've not liked the stream, so you know once I get to 25 likes, I'll be giving away 5 free memberships. If you want access to the membership, you got to be subscribed, and you have to have your gift giving enabled. You can find that in your account somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but if you don't have your gift, or or receiving gifts enabled, you're not going to get a membership. And I would check it. I would go and check that out. Switch out Rahm for Bryson to be different, says Bobby BS. I can do that once we get to you. I guess I can make that change right now. You want Rahm in there instead of Bryson? What you just said is switch out Rahm for Bryson. Do you mean it the other way around? Do you want me to switch out Bryson for Rahm? I mean, Rahm isn't in your lineup. How I'm reading that, I don't think I'm reading it wrong per se. Okay. So you want Rahm in there instead of Bryson. I got you. And then AJ Love had said, wait, did we already build AJ's? No, we did not. Okay. So AJ wants lineups. I know you said something. I'll find it, but yeah, I'll put you down here. I'm not sure exactly what you wrote, but I will find it. All right, Barry, sorry about that. I will reward you, because I know you want this. Okay, that's all you get. All right, we are building lineups. Scottie, Rahm, and Connors. Oh, we get the assassin himself. Hadouken! Rio Hasatsune. Scottie Scheffler, John Rahm, Connors, Corey Connors, Sungjae Im, Jason Day, and the assassin. Scheffler, Rahm, Homa, Connors, Perez, McNeely. These lineups are getting interesting. We add Valimaki. Okay, so Jason Day is showing up a little bit. So too is Batia. You're welcome, Barry. Oh, did I save it twice? No, I didn't. What happened? Oh, I lost out on my Three Stooges stuff. I should probably find that one. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Siwoo Kim, and CT Pan. Sure, why not? I think, you know, CT Pan's kind of a sneaky play. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Batia, Bazadenhout, and Nick Taylor. Not going to save that one. I don't really care for it. Scheffler, Rahm, Clark, Connors, Glover, and Adam Schenk. Don't really care for Schenk. I don't really care for him. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, English, Glover. Yep, sign me up. I like that one. I like that Pan lineup. Me too, man. Oh, our first DP World Tour guy, Jesper Svensson. Hell yeah. Sign me up. We get Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Batia, Svensson. Hell yeah. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Batia, Horschel, Grillo. Don't think so. Ooh, the lettuce of the romaine kind. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Kitayama. I don't really care for that one. Not a big Kitayama guy. Angel Hidalgo. What's funny is I was updating all the worksheets that I do, and I couldn't. It kept showing him as a blank, and I'm like, what the hell? It's Angel Hidalgo Portillo, and Portillo somehow got kicked out. So on the cheat sheet, that's what you're gonna see him as. Just an FYI. I have no idea who he is. Let's save it. Maybe it turns out. Maybe it doesn't. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Bezuidenhout, and Vincent Norman. Don't care for that one. Taylor Moore with Matt Wallace. Sure. Why not? Theegala showing up a lot. We're making up for all the Theegala lineups we didn't build so far. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Siwoo Kim, and ZJ. You don't know what a ZJ is, you can't afford it. Ooh, Yuto Katsuragawa. Katsuragawa. Wait, I got a better one. It's Yuto. That's what I thought. Should I do that for every Japanese golfer? Just, yeah, that would be ridiculous. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Batia, Katsugara. I know I'm saying it. Atsuragawa. Suragawa. Such a yeah. Stuart Sink with Bezzy. I don't want that. I don't want to save that one. All right. Ooh. Okay. I can do this one. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Theegala, Bezuidenhout, and Tristan Lawrence. Can you run a few lineups of Thiegs, please? Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and also without Christian Bezuidenhout. It reminds me of King Arthur with Clive Owen in it, and he's like, Clive Owen's just huge on Marcus Aurelius being the true emperor and his teachings and stuff being inspirational, and then he runs into the Romans that are occupying somewhere in the United Kingdom, and the guy goes, you should know, like the bad guy on the Roman side goes, you should know you are a Christian, like a Christian, but how he says it reminds me of how you say Christian Bezuidenhout. You are a Christian. Scheffler, Rahm, Connors, Batia, Bradley, Woodland. I kind of like Gary Woodland this week. I don't like Keegan Bradley all that much, but sign me up for Gary Woodland. In fact, Mr. Bradley, I'm kicking you out. Giving you the boot. Jorge Campillo. Jorge. Hip hip hooray. That's what it is. Jorge. Oh, Billy Horschel, why do you gotta ruin the day? All right, that's it. You like Woodland too this week? All right. Well, you got a Horschel lineup there, which Horschel can just go away. Dean Burmester. Just to throwing this out there, he's getting no love from the model, so if you want to boost him up when we're building lineups, you certainly can. Abe Answer, no love. No love. McKibben, getting no love this week. Horschel will be picked over those guys, so if you don't want Horschel, just tell me to kick the guy. But we're going to move on to the next person. Barry, those were your lineups. You'll like them.
I think that your time is done, and I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
Ryan Thomas, are you still in the chat, sir? Barry, no, not all of these lineups are yours. How many lineups we build you? 12? Okay. I did want to get to 10, so that was good. I think that your time is done, and the spotlight should be on top of me. All right. Ryan Thomas is still in the chat. That's what I like to see. I'll have to split this one up too somehow. So Ryan wants Scottie and Finau, which probably could be one of the more popular. Actually, I don't know if Scottie still will be popular this week for sure, right? I know lots of people liking Tony Finau. And quite frankly, Ryan, that shouldn't scare you. I'm not a huge ownership guy. Don't really care. The sweet spot process is going to get you on golfers that probably aren't going to be paired up with Scottie and Finau. So let's timestamp you. And let's get the timer back up. Just want to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. Everything's good. Everything's good. I am present like Santa on Christmas Eve. Okay. Timer, new timer is going up there. Right? Meow. All right, Ryan. If you keep seeing people you don't like, tell me to kick whoever that is. Just write in the chat, say kick, and then whomever. First lineup up is Scottie Scheffler, Tony Finau, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, Sahith, Theegala, and Nick Taylor. Not terrible. Actually, I kind of like that lineup. I don't know how I feel about Nick Taylor. It's the only person I didn't really like in that lineup. Scheffler, Finau, Kim, Theegala, Batia, Emiliano Grillo. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how I feel about Grillo. Scheffler, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Theegala, Batia, and Perez. So I feel like this lineup will be popular because I think a lot of people do like Batia. I think a lot of people do like Perez. Fitzpatrick, I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone's really getting into Fitzpatrick, but it's a solid lineup nonetheless. Hit that button, the Hawk to a girl. Scottie Scheffler, Finau, Clark, Theegala, Batia, and English. I don't mind Harris English this week. I'm not sure how I feel about always having like Theegala or Batia with some of these. I don't know yet. Scheffler, Finau, Kim, Minwoo, Aaron Rai, and Adam Schenk. Don't mind it. I don't think I want to save it though.
Gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
Scheffler, Finau, Kim, Theegala, Batia, and Langesk. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but this would be a really popular build. I imagine it would be. I think it's a really good, say, contest, like a league contest lineup. Okay, I will not be saving this one. Scheffler, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Im, Day, and Bazane. Like, I don't care for Jason Day, to be honest. And I don't care for Keegan Bradley. Scheffler, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Day, Siwoo Kim, Adam Scott. 69, 68, 67. I kind of like that lineup. Kind of like it. Kind of like it a lot.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Scheffler, Finau, Tom Kim, Batia, Benny Ann, and Horschel. I don't care for Billy. Don't want Billy Horschel. Hey, a McIntyre lineup finally. Scheffler, Finau, McIntyre, Davis, Thompson, Sung J M, Benny Ann. Wow. Wow. Kurt Kitayama, don't care for that. So we're seeing a lot of Sahith with Akshay. Do you want that, Ryan Thomas? We can change it up. We don't have to do that. The world is our oyster. We can make it up as we go. This lineup's pretty solid though. Clark, Theegala, Batia, and Taylor Moore. Don't mind it. Scheffler, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Sahith Theegala, and Vincent Norman. That's okay. Oh yeah, we just need 2 more likes, it looks like. 2 more. 2 more and I give out 5 free YouTube memberships. Scheffler, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Theegala, and Stuart Sink. Okay, so I'm actually gonna kick out Theegala. I'm gonna kick him out. And I'm gonna kick someone else out. I just don't know yet. Just don't know who yet. Probably Fitzpatrick. Actually, yeah, Fitzpatrick, sure. Good amount without him. Okay. Scheffler, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Max Homa, and Zach Johnson. That one's fine. Oh, time is up. Okay. And this lineup was a good one to build. We get Scheffler, Finau, Clark, Rye, Batia, and Thorbjorn Olesen. I dig that one. I want to see one without Akshay. And there's one that's, yeah, it would be Akshay. Who else was showing up a lot? I think Rye was, but that's fine. Just Akshay and Theegala. So without that, oh, and Tom Kim. So this one right here I like a lot. Scheffler, Finau, Kim, Minwoo, Rye, and Jesper Svensson. I like Svensson, by the way. Tom Kim I'm going to kick out as well. And then I'm going to build one more good one just for my own curiosity, because this is a combination I think you're going to see a lot of is Scheffler, Finau. And I just want to see some good different ones. So this one's different. Matsuyama, Rye, Burns, Campillo. Oh, one more. Rikuyo, Hoshino. I know people were trying to pick him last week. They wanted the optimizer to select him, so maybe it's his week this week. I don't know. Matthew Jordan. Hell yeah. I'm going to play myself some Matthew Jordan this week. He is in the last year one bucket from top 20ing it last year. Here we go. Scheffler, Finau, Clark, Burns, Fox, and Højgaard. There we go. Like that one. Okay. So we'll move on, but those were your lineups, Ryan. Ryan, just so you know, to get your your lineups time stamped, you do have to be at least a red tier member, which is $199. I will have it here in case you want it, or otherwise just remember you're at the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. If you want to go back and look at your lineups, or if you have no need to, then no big deal. No big deal. I appreciate you being here one way or nonetheless. Okay. Oh, we're at 24 likes. Just need one more. Just need one more. Looks like we got Philip Hall. Philip, are you here? On your ready, we will go. He wants Clark, Finau, and Theegala. Look at that. We were just pretty much building Clark, Theegala, Finau lineups. Much appreciated. Yes, I talked to you on Twitter. I'm on vacation. I will get everything straight next week. Oh, no. Oh, Rhino. Okay, okay, okay. Sounds good, man. Yeah. We did talk. We've even emailed. We've done so much together. I do see some optimizer requests. So while I wait for Philip Hall, let me send out some optimizers. Barry says 25 likes. I will have to confirm that on another page because I don't see 25 likes. I see 24 likes. Are you in the future? I can't see that. All right, Dennis, optimizer's been sent to you. And then at Jennings. Optimizer's been sent to you, Mr. Jennings. There we go. Wonderful. Ready. Take out Finau, he says. Just take him out. Where's my...
Hadouken!
We just had Hadoukened Finau out of the lineups. Sorry if your ears were bleeding there. Are we at 25 likes? Is that true? Are we giving out some memberships right now? Is that what's happening? I see 24, man. See this right here? 24. It only shows me 24. Once I get to 25, I'll give away 5 memberships. I have the future button. You only have the live button. That's pretty good.
Danger zone!
You see 25 as well? Oh, now I see 25. Oh, we're at 26. Look at you guys just jumping up. Okay. Okay. All right, you guys want it? You guys got it. Membership gifting. I have 5 memberships left to give this month, and you guys are getting them right meow. New memberships. Joanne gets another one. Mr. Awaken Up. Nate Danger. The Jungle Gym. Haven't seen the Jungle Gym in forever. The Rand Dazzler. You know what? I haven't seen Rand Dazzler in forever also. Well, if Joanne's in the chat, awesome. Mr. Awaken Up, I mean he's been a member before. Nate Danger, I don't think ever has been, but now that he is. The Jungle Gym. Rand Dazzler, that's interesting. Yes, congratulations. Should we do the maybe a golf clap? In one of these. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
All right. So he wanted Finau out of there. We kicked him out. We are good to go. Timer is up. Let's run these lineups. Again, remember just to let me know who you want kicked, and I'll kick them out. Bezzy is getting the kick, but you get McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Cammy Boy Young, and Sahith Theegala. It's a pretty solid lineup. I like that one. We get Keegan Bradley. I'm not gonna save any Keegan Bradley lineups. Billy Horschel, same. Get the over here. Okay, we get these 5 golfers: McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Young. But now we change it up. We get Ludwig, Cantlay, Clark, Young, Minwoo Lee, and Sahith Theegala. That one's not terrible. We'll change it up this way. McIlroy, Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Minwoo. Kick Bez for sure, and Keegan. Yeah, they're already booted. We already gave him the boot. McIlroy, Lowry, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Minwoo Lee, and Sahith Theegala. Actually, I like that lineup a lot. I do not mind playing Mr. Shane Lowry this week, by the way. No problem whatsoever. McIlroy, Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Sahith Theegala, and Ryan Fox. That's also another solid lineup. I like that one a lot. Oh man, you know what I've been forgetting to do this whole time? Gotta mix it up here and there, you know? This one has McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Theegala, Burns, and Sepp Straka. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we get a little Matthew Pavone action. Xander, Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Young, Theegala, Pavone. Not terrible. Kick Young. Okay. Ryan, why don't you just send it right here? You're here. Plus I can pin it to the chat. You're here already. Might as well send them here. McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Theegala, Rose. But I understand why I understand. I can lose them. I get it. But post it here also. Actually, if you post it here, I'll actually write it. Xander Fleetwood. That's our first Tommy Fleetwood sighting, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Wyndham Clark, Theegala, Burns, and Nikolai Højgaard. Okay, now we're getting some different lineups. We like seeing this. McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Thomas, Theegala, Rasmus. So we get the other Højgaard boy. Those are solid lineups. I really like this one right here. That's really good. Scheffler, Hatton, Clark, Theegala, Batia, Shank. I like it. Minus Shank. Rombo, Morikawa, Clark, Minwoo, Theegala, Batia. That's different. That's the one of the most unique lineups built tonight. Just with the optimizer doing its thing. Cammy Boy Smith is here with Rory McIlroy, Wyndham Clark, JT, Theegala, and Henley. All right, we've hit the sweet spot, Philip. Literally, this is like, these lineups that are coming out are pretty solid. Scheffler, Kim, Clark, Minwoo, Theegala, and Olesen. So Minwoo is just a staple now. McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, Minwoo, Theegala, JL Smith, Jordan L. Smith. Zalatoris, look at $370, $200. That's never happening, right? And the time is up. Philip, these were pretty fun. I want to do one more. I don't want Soderberg on my lineups or in my lineups. Fowler, there we go. Schauffele, Hatton, Clark, Lee, Theegala, Fowler. Love it. All right, those were interesting lineups right there. Let me add Ryan's here. And then I have to find AJ's also. AJ, can you tell me who your players are? I will find them when I scroll, but did we just do Rory Kawa Connors? No, we did Rory Kawa Clark. Gabe, a Billy Ho transplant with Mr. Henson. Okay. All right, Bobby BS. Bobby BS. We are on to you next, man. He wants Bryson, Cam Young, and Brooks Koepka. On your ready, we will go. Bryson and Brooksy, baby. Okay, we need to give him a little bit of a boost so we don't have to constantly change. Me and Gabe think alike. Yep. All right, Bobby BS is ready. You ready? Cam Young, I think, is going to be safe right there. Yep. All right, we're going to timestamp that, and we are a go. Here we go. We get Bryson Brooks, Tony Finau, Cam Young, Aaron Rai, Emiliano Grillo. Don't care for that one right away. I don't know. You know, Grillo might actually be an okay play. This is a good lineup. Koepka, DeChambeau, Finau. Oh, I forgot Corey. I'm sorry, I forgot Cam Young. We'll start it over. Right, we'll start it over. My bad. Keep it like that. Did it without Cam Young. But we're gonna continue going. I did like this lineup though. Did I save it? I did not. You let me know. Should I remove Cam Young? I kind of like it, right? Oh, you told me Rahm. You told me Rahm, right? Do you want John Rahm instead of Or did I change? You said you wanted Rahm, not DeChambeau. Anyways, Bryson, Brooks, Shane Lowry, Cam Young, Rye, Billy Horschel. Okay, this is going to get Billy Horschel out of there. Ooh, Bobby Mack gets added to this one. DeChambeau, Koepka, McIntyre, Cam Young, Aaron Ryan, Batia. By the way, Bobby BS, keep Rahm out. Got you. I got you. DeChambeau, Koepka, Matt Fitzpatrick, Young, Rye, and Bradley. Sure. I'm just going to save it just because there's so much Bradley that's been showing up. DeChambeau, Koepka, Finau, Young, Rye, and Stuart Sink. I don't know if I'm going to get to Stuart Sink this week. I wouldn't mind him, honestly, at most British Opens. I just don't want him here. DeChambeau, Koepka, Fitzpatrick, Young, Rye, and Fowler. I don't mind that. Now that Bryson is less owned, you're talking about? I got you. Bryson, Brooks, Finau, Young, Adam Scott, and Denny McCarthy. I like that lineup a lot. I like it a lot. Bryson, Brooks, Finau, Young, Sungjae, and Eric Cole. Sure. I do think driving accuracy matters a lot, and Eric Cole's usually not good at that, so I don't know. We'll see. This one was good too. We had Ryan and Griffin instead of Cole and whoever the other guy was. Mac Hughes gets added. I like Mac Hughes this week. Got no issue playing Mac Hughes. I also don't mind playing Brendan Todd. I think Brendan Todd could play well here. He played pretty okay at the Genesis Scottish Open. Here we go, a little bit different. DeChambeau, Morikawa, Koepka, Cam Young, JT Poston, and Austin Eckroat. Not terrible. Ooh, Shark Harden, what's going on, man? DeChambeau, Koepka, Fitzpatrick, Young, Alex Noren, Russell Henley. I like that. Finally, another student shows up. I know. Where the heck is Shark Harden with the black badge, by the way? That's big time. Black badge is what, 6 months? Is that your 6-month badge? That's sweet. The black on black. DeChambeau, Koepka, Finau, Young, Rye, and Lucas Glover. I feel like we had that one already, but that's not terrible. Not a Postman fan. Like Norton this week. Okay. DeChambeau, Koepka, Finau, Young, Connors, Nick Taylor. Look at the Canadians coming through. Don't mind that. Davis Thompson and Romain Langesque. Don't mind that. I think it's 6 months. Well, sir, you get one of these. Oh, we're going to add, not only are we going to add that, but we're going to add a Hadouken. Because we have the assassin in there. We have DeChambeau, Cantlay, Koepka, Young, Theegala, Rio, the assassin. DeChambeau, Koepka, Fitzpatrick, Young, Rye, and Hoagie. Tom the Hogart. I don't mind that one. That's pretty good. Shane Lowry gets added with Corey Connors and Adam Hadwin. I actually really like that one too. And the time is up. That was good. I liked a lot of those. Okay. Those were Bobby BS's lineups. We built you some good ones. How many did we get you? 17. It's pretty solid. 17. Where's Byron tonight? I know. I watched him earlier. He might show up later. Who knows? That deserves clown music, Darbo. I'm only playing clown music if Shark Harden wants me to play clown music. We ain't doing it. Bobby BS says, nice. Love seeing that. Okay. We are on to the next guy. Lombardi Lee, are you here, sir? Are you here, Lombardi? On your ready, I will build lineups. He wants Fleetwood. Tommy, not Elitewood, to go with Collin. More of the Kawa. More of the Kawa. I'm ready, he says. All right. Let's see. Do I have everything set? Yes, that's good. We will put the timer on the screen. 4 minutes are going right now. Lombardi wants Kawa and Fleetwood. And the first lineup is those two with Finau, Harman, Aaron Rai, and Akshay Bhatia. Pretty solid. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Finau, Harman, Rai, and Alex Noren. Hell yeah, sign me up. We like that lineup. Oh yeah. Sepper gets added. Okay, so we have the same 5 so far, which isn't terrible. Do you want Harman and Finau in your lineups? Mr. Lombardi Lee, they're showing up a lot. A lot. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Finau, Lowry, Harman, and Jaeger. Jaeger bombs, not terrible. Brandon the Great. What's going on, Brandon? Haven't seen you in a while. Xander Burns, please. I will add you to the mix after this one. After this one is final. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Finau, Minwoo Lee, Connors, and Sahith Theegala. That's also another solid lineup. I'm kind of liking this combo. Homo with Rai. Okay. Don't hate it. You're welcome, Brennan. Justin Thomas with Jason Day. Don't hate it. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Connors, and Benny Ann. Don't hate that one either. Okay, so that's a lot of Finau. Do you want that much Finau? Morikawa, Fleetwood, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, and Chris Kirk. I'm just gonna make the executive decision and kick Finau out of there because I don't want to see that much Finau. I'm already up to 50,000 or 50%. Oberg, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Minwoo Lee, Max Homa, and Maverick McNeely. Not terrible. Of course, Lombardi. Morikawa, Fleetwood. I don't want to see Billy Horschel. God, you know what? I'm saying no to Billy so much, and Bez. One of those guys is going to be a good play this week. So you know what? I'm saving this one. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Tom Kim, Lowry, Homa, and Bezadenhout. 11% Tom Kim so far, so not terrible. Oberg, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Harman, Connors, and CT Pan. Don't mind that one. Morikawa, Fleetwood, Tom Kim, Shane Lowry, Minwoo Lee, and Benny Ann. That's a solid line. I like that one. Charlie Kern wants Scottie and Burns. Of course you do. Burnsy and Scottie. Ludwig, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Minwoo, Russell Henley, and Keegan Bradley. Sure, Keegan, whatever, dude. Hey, I'm relevant. Pick me. I'm not saving that one. I don't want Adam Schenk in my life. Not in Scotland. Morikawa, McIlroy, Fleetwood, Davis Thompson, Jason Day, and Semi Valimaki. I don't mind it, but I don't want to save golfers with the same price tags. Come on. Ludwig, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Day, Scott, Højgaard. Sure, I'll do it this time. Nikolai Højgaard. Remember that? God, that stays with me. Nikolai Højgaard when he said his name for the Ryder Cup. Nikolai Højgaard. Don't even know what the hell he said. Oberg, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Harman, Corey Connors, and the Zeege. Time's up. Did they ever say why Seabez withdrew? No. I just mentioned it like Does anyone? I'm not sure if anyone knows what his withdrawal reason was. I'm just gonna build or I just want to see a couple more with this combo. Okay, there. This one is different enough that I'm happy with. Ludwig. There we go. Yeah, Ludwig, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Connors, Thompson, and Adrian Meronk. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. All right, those were lineups for Lombardi Lee. We move on to the next guy, which is J.K. Lawrence. J.K., are you still in the chat, sir? Did I have Josh Maz in there? Yep, sure did. I need to add a couple. Brandon. Look at the last two. It's Xander Burns and then Scottie Burns. May the best man win. J.K. Lawrence wants Aberg, Clark, Theegala, and Robert McIntyre. Robert. Aberg. Wyndham Clark. Theegala. Saw hit Theegala. And Bobby Mack. Where are we at? Bobbert. He has 4 Marquee Tee Time guys. But before we get into that, we have roll call number 3. So for roll call number 3, put in the number 3 in chat. That's all we gotta do. Just the number 3. You don't have to do anything more than that. Put the number 3 in chat, and you will get another entry into next weekend's giveaway, as well as next month's giveaway. And we need to get to 800 subscribers before we give away $100. Otherwise, we give out. I will give out a free membership to the website SweetSpotDFS.com, as well as a free T-shirt, like what EricCarnivore got. Oh, Bobby BS is he's gonna do the old Jim Lemoyne on me, huh? BS Barry R. What's been your favorite? And then there's a heart sign that's in front of. God, there's a heart sign in front of all of them. Just go away. What does that say? Here, I'm just gonna do this. Bump. What's been your favorite duo so far? What has been my favorite duo so far? Let me look. I did have a couple good ones that started out. I have some that are like, boom, just highlighted a bunch. So the first lineups that I built, I liked a lot of them. Rory and Morikawa. Those were some good ones. I think it was like Rory, Kawa, and Wyndham Clark. And they provided some pretty good lineups. Outside of that, I don't know. I guess maybe none so far. Not to be harsh, but they're not any duos that I think I'd start out with. I mean, some of them maybe like just to have, but none of them. And again, that's more of a feeling thing for me, right? That isn't anything to do with like me thinking anyone's lineups are terrible. I just not my cup of tea so far. Okay. Seabez scares me then. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You know what though? Seabez has been battling something throughout the year, hasn't he? Even going all the way back to very close to the tournament that he technically got first place prize money, the American Express. Anyways. All right, JK Lawrence is not here. So I'm going to timestamp him and I'm just going to run him some lineups and move on. A lineup snob. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. And it breaks right away. We have... Okay. Well, if I remember him, he likes a lot of golfers that were top 20 last week. That's what they all are. Top 20. Top 20. Top 20. Top 20. And that's all last week ones. You see this? Last week ones. Last week ones. Last week ones. Last week ones. Okay, so how many last week ones do we want at max? 3. Okay, so we need to kick someone out. I'm gonna make an exact... Oh, JK Lawrence says I'm here. JK. You can't have 4 last week ones. Who do you want me to kick out? And I'll reset the timer for you. Who do you want me to kick out? I kind of think this is funny also, because I think you did this last week where you picked 4 top 20 golfers from the week before. We want a max of 3. And I really don't think that's a bad limit to have. I don't think it's a good thing to have 4 last week ones. Yeah, it's not even particularly close either, JK. You've seen at most 5 inside the top 10 and at most 2 in the optimal lineup, 3 inside the top 5. And there was something I was going to mention before. I do that a lot where I'm like in the intro, I'm like, I'll get there when we get there. And it was like salaries, to talk about salaries, just to show you guys what I did for the price conversion. Is I basically tried to match these numbers with the previous years. So like kind of what the averages were. So on average, usually there's 36 7K golfers. I got 41. On average, there are 40 high 6K golfers. I got 42. And then low 6K golfers, normally there's 54. I got 53. 10 10, 7 7, 5 6, pretty much. So that also matches with the price conversion that I did. So that's why I did it. I didn't do it the year before. I should have, though. I probably should have changed some of these low 6Ks into some of these high 6Ks, but I didn't do the price conversion last year. Anyways. Kick out Aberg. You got it. All right, so no Aberg. Timer's up. We're building some lineups. We're building. Scheffler. Wyndham Clark, Bobby Mack, Justin Thomas, Theegala, and Bezadenhout. That's not terrible. I'm not going to save it, though. We don't know. Give me Rmac and Wyndham Clark. We also have you with Sahith. Do you not want Sahith? Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Thomas, Theegala, Bradley. Oh my God. I can't do Keegan this week. I don't want to. And I don't want to do Billy Horschel. Go away. This one's fine. Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Theegala, Straka, Batia. Fine. This is a good one. I like this one a lot. Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Thomas, Theegala, Ryan Fox. Solid. I do like Ryan Fox this week. DeChambeau, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Theegala, English. It's all right. No Sahith. Okay. Every rose has his thorn with Theegala, Justin Thomas, McIntyre, Clark, and Scheffler. I'm gonna save that one. I'm not a big Rose fan this week, but why not? Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Connors, Burns, and Batia. That one's not terrible. I'm gonna have to give McIntyre a little bit of a bump, so I don't have to keep changing it out. Did Keegan ever say he was going to be player coach for Ryder if he plays well? He says he needs to qualify. He's not going to be a captain's pick. He has said he will not be a captain's pick. He needs to qualify, and he will. But he will play. He said he will play. Aberg, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Harman, and Justin Thomas. There we go. That's a solid lineup. If you wanted like something a bit more balanced, there you go. That was it. I like that lineup a lot. Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Homa, Batia, and Sungjae Im. Not bad. Aberg, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Minwoo, and then Max Homa. Also don't mind that one. 10-9-8-7-7-7. Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Minwoo, Corey Connors, and Siwoo Kim. That's a solid lineup. These are turning out to be pretty good now. Now that we got it fixed up, Lombardi. These are not Lombardi. JK. These are good. Hovland, Hatton, Clark, McIntyre, Minwoo, Aaron Rai. Another good lineup. This is a good little combo piece. McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Brian Harman, and Emiliano Grillo. I'm just gonna save it because there's so much Grillo showing up that I'm just gonna FOMO this one. We get Matt Wallace added to that one instead of Grillo, and I'm okay with that too. Hovland, Hatton, Clark, McIntyre, Minwoo, Corey Connors. Sure. These are all very balanced lineups. So very good to have in cash game contests. I like this one as well. McIlroy, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Harman, and Taylor Moore. Pretty solid. Xander, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Harman, and Kitayama. Yeah, it's all right. Not a big deal. Xander, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Harman, and Thorbjorn. It's pretty solid. I'll build one more good one. I don't want Soderberg. Barry R says, "Shot, are we in agreement that Morikawa will be donkey chonk this week? Gut feeling he's going to heartbreak this week." My feelings about Morikawa is the same as I had last week, which was the same as that I had for Sungjae Im. I think both of those golfers aren't that great in the wind, and last week we got no wind. If the wind picks up, I also agree he's not going to play that well. The last lineup for you, JK, is very interesting. Aberg, Cantlay, Clark, McIntyre, Harman, Zalatoris. Feels like one of those like fantasy football lineups that has an injured running back that, like, say Arian Foster. Arian Foster would be the perfect example for Will Zalatoris. This is like Arian Foster. And then you got someone who's like steady but not like super high upside. I don't even know who I would mix in with this. Say I'm trying to think of a running back when Arian Foster was playing that just got you points, like 10 points a game. I can't think of a name. McIntyre's a tight end, for sure. Wyndham Clark is a streaky receiver. Cantlay would be probably your quarterback. Like a probably like a Tom would he be like a Tom Brady quarterback, like just giving you 14 points here and there until he like, you know, has one of those 6 touchdown games. And then Ludwig would be like a Julio Jones from back in the day. What would I put? Said he was a tight end. Harman. Who would I put? Like, I don't know. He's like a Peyton Hillis, just a boring running. No, not even Peyton Hillis, because Peyton Hillis had a breakout. That's not Brian Harman. Brian Harman's just a serviceable back. Who would Brian Harman be? Edgerrin James? No. Tiki Barber? No. No way. Nah, Brian Harman is just a you know who Brian Harman is? He is the Packers running back right now. The backup to Aaron Jones. Like the Dylan. He's that guy. Just a boring running back. Gets you like 10, 12 points here and there. Every once in a while he can get you like 20 some points, but he's not going to win you a championship. And then Will Zalatoris could do something, but he also could blow out his Achilles and then just be gone for the rest of the tournament. That's Arian Foster. Such a holy crap. That guy was so fun to watch play. Him and so one year, okay, we had a dynasty football league. We had an Emperor league, basically. If you won 2 years in a row, you won the Emperor's pot. And there was also a rookie keeper clause that you could keep a rookie for up to 4 years. So I had Le'Veon Bell, I had David Johnson, and I had Arian Foster all on my team, and I still had a first round pick, a second round pick, and a third round pick. No, I had a fourth round pick. No, I had a third round. Nah, it was a fourth round pick. Never mind. Because I used my third round pick to keep David Johnson. Le'Veon Bell was my rookie keeper. And then Arian Foster was also a keeper. Thought I would, just like kill my fantasy league. Got to the championship game. Foster was out. Le'Veon was out. David Johnson was out. It was so bad. Oh my God. That's why you never invest in running backs as much as I did. So terrible. Yeah, Sung Jae will break hearts for sure at that price. Louis Oosthuizen getting there too. Yeah. AJ Dillon's the backup for Aaron Jones. There we go. Yeah. And I know Jones left Green Bay. I was just trying to remember from previous years who. It was my brain trying to remember who Dylan was. Dylan Brooks. I think that's the wrong sport, JK. I think that's basketball, right? Isn't that Memphis? Yeah. Yep, he's a Minnesota Viking now. We love when the Packers come over to the Vikings to give it back to the Packers. Okay, I am so sorry. Who are we on to next? Joshua Maz. Josh, are you still in the chat, sir? On your ready, we will go. Who is it? AJ Love. Okay, hold on. I gotta find AJ Love's. Mine was Rory and Rye. Okay, there we go. Rory and Rye. Yep. All right. Joshua Mads is ready. Okay, we're time stamping that. Maz wants DeChambeau and Cam Young. Cam Young, where are we at, bud? Robert the Bruce, I will bring back to Earth. Siwoo pivot next to Sungjae. Yeah, it seems pretty good. All right, timer is back up. We are running lineups for Mr. Joshua Maz. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, Young, Connors, Batia. Pretty solid. Okay, you're going to see a lot of Finau. You're going to see a lot of Clark. Yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of Clark and Batia. You let me know if you want. Oh, Batia's getting the boot right now. Never mind. Bryson, Finau, Clark, Young, Rye, and then Bezzy. Sure, we can save that one. Bryson, Finau, Clark, Young, Rye, and Keegan Bradley. That one's solid. Bryson, Finau, Clark, Young, Rye, Nikolai Højgaard. There we go, a little bit different. Bryson, Finau, Clark, Young, Justin Thomas, Billy Horschel. Sure. Just to have another Billy lineup, that's fine. DeChambeau, Hovland, Clark, Young, Connors, and Grillo. Yeah. Big tone. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, Cam Young, Noren, and Straka. There we go. I like that. DeChambeau, McIlroy, Harman, Young, Jaeger, and Griffin. There we go. A little difference in lineups. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, Cam Young, Corey Connors, and Adam Scott. That one I like. I like that lineup. I like it a lot. Speaking of Sungjae, as you were talking about in the chat, here we go. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, Young, Connors, and Sungjae. I also feel like with Wyndham Clark, if the wind picks up, he's a bad play. So I put, and they're all really heavy. Now, Im actually hits a straight ball, but how Sungjae sets up, I just can't. I've even heard Mark Immelman say that Sungjae hits a heavy golf ball, which I trust Mark Immelman, but reaching that far for a golf ball, I can't imagine you always hit the ball absolutely flush. I could be completely wrong. I also think if the wind's blowing, staying in balance would be very difficult with that golf swing that he has, and I don't trust it. So I don't like Sungjae for that reason. That's also not so much why I also don't like Wyndham Clark or Collin Morikawa, but their weak fades that they hit, I don't think play well with wind. DeChambeau, McIlroy, Cam Young, Aaron Rye, JT Poston, and Mackenzie Hughes. I like that lineup. I think what Chad Eckert was talking about the most top 10s in a major dating back the last 4 years, like JT Poston's in 12 of them, maybe not majors, maybe just tournaments. He has like 12 top 10s or something like that. He's fourth on that list with Scottie, Sungjae, and someone else. DeChambeau, Finau, Clark, Cam Young, Minwoo, and Davis Thompson. Sure, if you want to ride the hot hand, that's a really good lineup right there. DeChambeau, Cantlay, Clark, Young, Minwoo, and Denny. It's also a really good lineup. And the last one, Corey Connors and Eric Cole. I'm gonna say that one. I want to check one more. Minwoo and Adam Hadwin. Sure, I'll save that one as also. I got no issues with any of those. Those are all pretty solid. Okay, Josh, those were your lineups. How many did we get you? 14, not bad. Get that black and mild. Gotta run to the store. If I'm not back, just run it and I'll watch later. I trust you to kick the right people. Okay. You're gonna be playing a ton of Adam Scott. Gotcha. There's no wind. Im is way too cheap. Yeah, so my other thought process with that is if there is no wind, Sungjae is like the Corey Connors of the Masters from 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whenever it was, when he was in the 6K range when he shouldn't have been. I feel like that's, yeah, you slam Sungjae in that scenario. All right. AJ Love, we're on to you, sir. He wants Rory and Aaron Rai. Rory. Where are we at, Mr. Rai? 7,300. There we go. All right. On your ready, you let me know. AJ says he's ready. Okay. I got everyone. Rye and McIlroy. Making sure. Okay, sorry. Timer is up. Here we go. Rory, Cantley, Finau, Harman, Aaron Rai, and Brendan Todd. That's not terrible. McIlroy, Cantley, Finau, Rai, Siwoo Kim, and Byung Hun An. McIlroy, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Harman, Rai, Jason Day. Hey, these lineups are pretty decent. McIlroy, Finau, Clark, Harman, Rai, Batia. Clark is on. We have him in 43% of lineups built tonight. That's nuts. McIlroy, Finau, Clark, Minwoo, Aaron Rai, and Sammy Burns. Samuel Burns. McIlroy, Finau, Clark, Minwoo, Rai, Sepstraka. Okay. Oh, we have a duplicate. Okay. McIlroy, Cantley, Lowry, Connors, Ryan, Henley. That's solid. McIlroy, Finau, Kim, Harman, Rai, Bezadenhout. We add Hoagie to that, which isn't terrible. McIlroy, Cantley, Finau, Clark, Rai, CT Pan. Not terrible. What do you think the wing cut off is for certain players? Wind cut off. What do you mean by that? Like, if it gets to a certain mile per hour, you just don't play them? McIlroy, Finau, McIntyre, Minwoo, Justin Thomas, and Aaron Rai. That's a pretty solid lineup. Holy crap. Let me see where this duplicate is with Burns. Okay. So for the golfers that I mentioned, for the fade, like those that hit those fades, Sungjae, if it gets 20 miles an hour, actually Sungjae, but all of them 20. If your average mile per hour is 20 with gusts up to 30 something, they got no chance. No chance. Those golfers are gonna have the hardest time. Most golfers are, but they're gonna have a worse time because they don't hit any other shot shape than those big old fades. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Harman, Rye, Nick Taylor. I don't mind that. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Rye, Theegala, and Kirk. Not terrible. McIlroy, Finau, Tom Kim, Minwoo Lee, Aaron Rye, Billy Horschel. I don't know about Billy. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Clark, Rye, and Adam Schenk. Yeah, sure. I'll do one Adam Schenk. I'll build one more after this. McIlroy, Cantlay, Finau, Minwoo, Aaron Ryan, Mav McNeely. Not terrible. And the last one. Austin Eckroat. I want that one. Let's try another. Nikolai Højgaard. To go along with McIlroy, Finau, Kim, Harman, Rye, and that's fine. Sure. Okay. Those were lineups for Mr. AJ Love. Hopefully you found a good one in there. I don't know about Sepp Straka. I'm also not a huge fan of Brian Harman. I don't like, anytime I see Brian Harman's name, I just don't want to play him. What do you think the winning score will be this week, Eric? Kind of like the grinder type plays this week if the weather gets nasty. I mean, if the weather does get nasty, yeah, but I don't know. I think the winning score. So if the weather is, if there's like one day where the weather's bad, I think your winning score is -16. If there are 2 days the weather's bad, I think your winning score is -12. There's 3 days that it's bad, I bet you the winning score is going to be somewhere between -6 to -8. And if it's all 4 days, it's going to be like -2. But yeah, the fact that Mickelson and Stenson in 2016 were that far ahead of the group, it makes no sense, first of all. Secondly, that tells me more like those players didn't play up to their potential, and that course is gettable as long as, you know, the golfers are making their putts, which I think the game has definitely evolved that much from 26 to now, where I think they can, there's enough good golfers in the field this week compared to that week, I feel like, that you could have a winning score -16 or something like that. Like, and it would be a gradual decline as opposed to having 2 golfers up here and then the rest of the pack down here. Okay. Who are we on to next? Ryan Henson with Rory, Kawa, and Connors. So let's timestamp that. Rory, Collin, and Connors. Okay. Are you in the chat, Mr. Ryan Henson? I'm just going to start the timer. If you don't like certain golfers, let me know. Here we go. First lineup is McIlroy, Morikawa, Fitzpatrick, Connors, Batia, Glover. Not terrible. McIlroy, Morikawa, Fitzpatrick, Connors, Benny Ann, and Keegan Bradley. I don't care for that. Don't really care for Fitzpatrick either, but when the weather gets bad, I actually like Fitzpatrick, say, more than I would Sung JM, believe it or not. McIlroy, Morikawa, Cantlay, Connors, Henley, and Velamaki. I like that one a lot. We'll give Ryan Henson Adam Schenk. He knows the Schenk family. McIlroy, Morikawa, Matsuyama, Minwoo Lee, Connors, Adam Schenk. Because I feel like that's kind of serendipity, we are going to go ahead and highlight this red. Yeah, Ryan knows Adam's sister, I want to say. Maybe aunt. Some woman in the family. I can't remember who it is. McIlroy, Morikawa, Spieth, Connors, Day, and Bezuidenhout. If you wanted a grinded out team, this is it. Minus Morikawa. But this is it. A solid lineup. By the way, if you want to know what my favorite lineups or anything like that, check in tomorrow night. I'll be building lineups tomorrow for myself, and I will have more time to look at everything and have a pretty good feel as to what I want to do with my lineups. I'm kind of seeing certain things I like with you guys' builds, but nothing is really singing to me. This lineup here is solid, though. Rory definitely, I think Rory wins this tournament, by the way. And I know that's not a hot take, but I'm probably most likely, I'm most likely building, like, my favorite combo so far that I can think off the top of my head, it's going to be Rory and Aberg. Rory, Morikawa, Lowry, Connors, Thompson. By the way, actually, I'll build something that I'm very curious to see what will work. I'll do that at the end of the stream. Morikawa, McIlroy, Fitzpatrick, Connors, Batia, Grillo. Don't care for that. McIlroy, Morikawa, Cantlay, Connors, Batia, and Svensson. Sign me the hell up. I like that lineup a lot. Actually, just keep repeating words, man. I have a really good idea of what I want to do.
Hadouken!
The assassin shows up. I like that lineup, though. I don't care for Billy Horschel, but that's a pretty good lineup. McIlroy, Morikawa, Fitzpatrick, Connors, Batia, Matt Wallace. Not terrible. Can you run a few Scottie, Rory lineups at the end? Sure. Taylor Moore, I like that. McIlroy, Morikawa, Matsuyama, JT, Corey Connors, and ZJ. Sure. Why not? Because why not? McIlroy, Morikawa, Spieth, Connors, Batia, Kitayama. Sure. I'm going to have a Kitayama lineup. I'll do it there. Time is up, but I don't want to see a Suragawa lineup. I don't even know who the hell that is. Or Bjorn. There we go. This is a good lineup. A double save that to bump it down one. All right, Mr. Henson, we built you 13 lineups, but those are all pretty good. Yeah, having McIlroy in lineups seems to just make sense. They feel pretty good. All right. I think we're to our add-ons. Brandon the Great, are you still here? He wants Xander and Burns. The Xander Zone. I'm going to give Burnsy a little bit of a boost so I don't have to change up anything. Alrighty. I will give you 10 seconds. Paging Brandon the Great. Okay, 10 seconds are up. They're up 10 seconds ago. Alrighty. Brandon the Great wants Xander Burns. Let's build him some lineups. Timer is up. Xander, Finau, Clark, Harman, Rye, Burns. Solid. Xander, Finau, Clark, Harman, Burns, M. Solid. Just keep saying solid. McIlroy, Schauffele, Minwoo, Burns, Scott, Jaeger. Solid. McIlroy and Xander, by the way. That is... wow. Xander, Finau, Tom Kim, Harman, Burns, Davis, Thompson. I like it. McIlroy, Schauffele, Harman, Burns, Henley, Griffin. Sure. Don't really care for Griffin and Henley together, but sure. Schauffele, Finau, Kim, Harman, Burns, Batia. How much is Harman getting played? Jesus. Harman, where you at? 23%? Okay, that's not terrible. Xander, Hovland, Clark, Young, Burns, JT Poston. I like that lineup. Xander, Finau, Kim, Minwoo, Theegala, Burns. I'm not going to do that. Xander, Finau, Kim, Minwoo, Burns, and Straka. That's fine. Yeah, I agree, Barry. McIlroy, Xander, Minwoo, Burns, Day, and Mackenzie Hughes. I like that lineup a lot. Xander, Cantlay, Kim, Young, Burns, Benny Ann. Not terrible. Xander, Tony Finau, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, Max Homa, and Sam Burns. Sure. Sign me up. Xander, Finau, Clark, Cam Young, Minwoo Lee, Sam Burns. I like it. I'm kicking out Wyndham Clark though. I don't want to see any more Wyndham Clark. Xander, Cantlay, Finau, Harman, Burns, Chris Kirk. Yeah, whatever. Brendan Todd, no. And I'm going to kick out Harman pretty soon. This one's fine. But if I see Harman one more time, I'm kicking him out. Didn't. Schauffele, Tony Finau, Matsuyama, Young, Burns, and Scott. I like that lineup a lot. I do like Adam Scott this week. DeChambeau, Schauffele, Young, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Henley, Nick Taylor. You know what? That's not terrible either. I don't know what to feel about Russell Henley this week. Rory, Xander, Connors lineups. Kind of don't mind that either. Xander, Finau, Fitzpatrick, Harman. There we go. That's all I needed to see. Fitzpatrick's getting the kick, and so too is Harman. Go fuck yourselves. We're late. It's late at night. We're in dark mode. Xander, Cantlay, Finau, Justin Thomas, Burns, Eric Cole. Don't mind that. We built a lot of lineups tonight. I might have to change the timer yet again. 4 minutes is a lot of time. And maybe not, because it is the Open, so more people are probably asking for lineups. Xander, Finau, Lowry, Cam Young, Burns, and Noren. All right. One more lineup without Finau. I don't want to see Finau. Schauffele, Hovland, Lowry, Burns, Day, and Adam Scott. There we go. That's pretty much what I wanted to see. That's one of the more boring yet unique lineups built tonight. All right, Harden is the last one. And he said that he's probably out. So I get to kick out whoever I think he'd want me to kick out, which most of the time, I think I know Harden pretty well. But I am a bit biased when it comes to tonight's lineup builds, so we shall see. Let me go ahead and put the timer up for Mr. Harden, and I will build some lineups. He wanted Scheffler and Burns, his favorite duo of all time. Scheffler, Finau, Clark, Burns, Thompson, and JT Poston. Like that lineup. We're going to double check the Finau. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Scheffler, Finau, Harman, Rye, Burns, and Jaeger. That one's fine. One more Finau and he's getting the boot. Scheffler, Aberg, Connors. So that's probably one of my favorite starts. Going like Aberg, Connors, that's fine. Benny Ann, Ben Griffin. I don't want Ben Griffin that much. I don't think that's good. I haven't seen much Benny Ann in lineups. He's usually a popular pick. This week he's hidden with a lot of chalky players around him. Yeah, good call. I mean, Benny Ann is showing up a lot here. Scheffler, Aberg, Connors, Sammy Burns, Benny Ann, Mac Hughes. That's actually a pretty solid lineup. Scheffler, Finau, Clark, Minwoo, Burns, and Brennan Todd. Sure. All right, that was the last Finau lineup. One more and he gets the ban for the night. Scheffler, Aberg, Connors, Burns, Sungjae Im, and Austin Eckroat. No, I'm not a big fan of Austin Eckroat this week. There we go. Finau gets the ban. We're out of here. This is what I feel about Finau right now.
I think that your time is done, and I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
Scheffler. Okay, this one was Scheffler, Finau, Clark. I'll do one non-Finau Clark lineup, but I don't want Clark either. Scheffler, Clark, McIntyre, Rory, Connors, Sam Burns, Akshay, Bhatia. Yep, that was the non-Clark or the non-Finau Clark lineup. So now Clark gets the boot. I don't want to see Clark anymore. And we get Scheffler, Cantlay, Harman, Connors, Burns, Glover. Love it. But now we kick out Brian Harman because I don't want a Harman lineup anymore. Too much Harman. Too much Finau. Scheffler, Cantlay, Minwoo, Connors, Burns, Kirk. Fine. Tom Kim with Fitzpatrick, Connors, Cole. That's whatever. Nope. I'm just gonna burn through some of these 5K golfers that keep showing up that I don't really care for. Fitzpatrick is about to get the kick also. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna kick out Fitzpatrick. This one is Scheffler, Hovland, Connors, Burns, Im, and Grillo. I don't care for Grillo, but I'll save it just because. Ooh, we get the assassin.
Hadouken!
Scheffler, Aberg, Connors, Burns, Im, Hisatsune. Scheffler, Cantlay, Minwoo, Theegala, Burns, Matt Wallace. I like that lineup a lot. I like it a lot. What other one did I like? Probably this one, just because. Time's up, but I kind of like these lineups. Let me see what else I can do. Scheffler, Matsuyama, Tom Kim, Burns, Adam Scott, Tom Hoagie. Sure. I'm actually going to kick out Tom Kim. Scheffler, McIlroy, Burns, Benny Ann, Denny McCarthy, CT Pan. That's a sexy line. That one is certified sexy. That one actually deserves some sexy music. Scheffler, Oberg, Connors, Burns, Henley, Velamaki. I don't think I care for Henley that much. Shank. All right. Hovland, Connors, Burns, Batia, and Lengesk. I don't... Okay, just give me something different. I'm gonna have to change those 6K golfers to like 2%ers because they keep showing up way more than they need to. There we go. This one's fine. Okay. Those were Shalik Harden's lineups. So that. Okay, so you said you want to see Scottie Rory lineups. Well, okay. Actually, it does work out. Okay, I'm gonna run like maybe 5. Scheffler, McIlroy, Theegala, Burns, Griffin, CT Pan. Of course, we're gonna have Griffin in there. I need to balance out Burns. I don't really care to have that much Burns in there. Don't care for Griffin. I really don't care for any of the 6K golfers that have been showing up. Like all of these guys. There are just so many of them. Like they're all losers. I don't want to play any of them. All right. Okay, this one's interesting. Connors, Hadwin, Perez, Glover to go with Scheffler and McIlroy. Minwoo, Cole, Kirk, Glover, of course. I'm just gonna keep building these lineups until I see something good and then comment on like, wow, that one's a good one. This one's fine. Scheffler, McIlroy, it's kind of okay. Yeah, I don't care for ZJ. I don't care for Kirk. Don't care for Cole. I don't care for Thriston Lawrence. Like I've seen all of these. Don't care for Hidalgo. You're welcome, Barry. Ryan Fox is fine. So, all right, here's what I'm seeing. The thing that's bothering me about my optimizer is not so much the optimizer, it's the score that these guys have. So basically, for tomorrow when I start building lineups, I want to see probably some more Norin. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the fact that I didn't see much of him. Don't care for DJ. Saw way too much Batia tonight. Matthew, I don't care to see Matthew Pavon or Davis Thompson. Sungjae's fine. Don't really care that much for Day. I probably need to give Fox a bit of a little boost. Just because I obviously what I saw with my optimizer. I don't like, I'm not gonna play that much Jason Day. I don't trust him. I also just don't want to play him. Oosthuizen's gonna need a bit of a boost, but it's because he plays on the Live Tour that he's not showing up. And you know, I know the concerns that he's probably gonna be really chalky. That's fine. You see, I have him at a 4% max ownership. That's what I'm gonna keep him at. I'm not gonna play him more than 4%. Henley, that's fine. Scottie, that's fine. Henley though, because of how much I saw him tonight, 3% I'm gonna put on him. I'm gonna put 3% on J-Day, 3% on Rose. I'll give Sungjae 5%. Davis Thompson, I'll give 3%. Well, yeah, 3%, that's fine. Adam Scott's cool there. Benny Ann is fine. That's fine. We need to give a little bit of a boost to the Burmester. The Meester lady. So he'll get picked up a little bit more, but I also don't want to own him too much. So I'll put him in like 3%. 1 in 33 lineups, that's fine. Fowler is fine. Bezzy showing up way too much. I'll put him in 2%. How about 2.5%? That's fine. Keegan, I'll go 2.5%. Abe Answer, I couldn't care less for. Horschel, 2%. McKibben, 3%. Rasmus Højgaard, I'm cool with 4. I'm cool with 4 for Moronk and JL Smith. Ewan Ferguson, that's fine. Denny McCarthy, that's fine. These are all 2%ers, which is lovely. There's got to be some dudes down here that I want to play a little bit more of. Oh, we got to give Horsfield some points. That's way too low. Stenson, not touching. Thorbjorn, he was obviously being chosen a few times. Taylor Moore, that's cool. Not touching Tiger. Wallace is fine. Cantor, don't care for. Mickelson, don't care for. We don't care for. Kirk, that's fine. 2%'s fine. Jaeger, 2%'s fine. Southgate, I probably want to give a little bit of a boost to. Romain Langesque, I don't really care for. McNeely, don't care for. Glover, don't care for. Catlin, Taylor, Sharma, Griffin. They're all going to get capped by their ownership, so I don't mind. Matthew Jordan. I'm going to give him a little bit of a boost because I like him. Make him a 3%er. Yannick Paul, I think, has potential. So let's go ahead and give him a 100-point bonus. I need the optimizer to select some of these guys down here. Woodland, yeah, let's give him also a boost because I want to see more of him. Don't care about Seam. Don't really care about the Assassin. Gordon Sargent is here. He hits the ball far, but I think you need more accuracy than distance. Justin Eckroat, don't really care for, honestly. Joe Dean, don't care for. CT Pan, that's fine. Campillo, that's fine. Crocker, don't care for. Molinari, don't care for. Shank. 2%'s fine. ZJ is only going to be owned in 1% of my lineups. Ogletree don't care for. Mateo Montecero, let's give him a little bit of a boost. He was in my Drive the Green lineup last week. It was so good. I can't remember who missed the cut for me, but I had high hopes for it, and then someone screwed me. Jesper Svensson, I like that. Then there's some dudes down here I just don't even know the names of that I think are probably in on qualifiers that I don't care to play. Yeah, a lot of these guys I don't care to play. So yeah, Svensson at 5,300 seems solid. Mateo I don't mind playing. ZJ I don't want to play too much of. I guess that goes with Shank. I don't want those guys. I don't want to play those guys too much. Let's do Sink. I don't care to play that much. Rio can stay at 2. That's fine. Alexander Bjork, I probably should give a little bit of a boost to. I want to with Guido, but I just don't care. I don't know John Catlin that much to even care. I know he's on the Live Tour, I believe. Patty screwed me last week. Don't want Tiger. Yeah. Okay, so I guess there isn't a lot of 5 or 6K golfers worth a damn, if we're being honest. Yeah, there really isn't. I think I want to boost up Ryan Fox to 5% now that I see that. And Siwoo can get up to 5. Louis can go up to 5. Scottie can go up to 6. Benny Ann can go up to 5. Boygaard can go stay there. Actually, I'm going to bring up Burmester to 5%. Fowler, that's... Actually, Fowler goes to 3. Bezzy, I'm going to actually now go to 2. Bradley can go to 2. Rasmus, I don't mind. JT Post can go to 3. Hoagie can go to 3. Kitayama, 1.5. English, 1.5. Soderberg, 1. Victor Perez, 5%. Horsfield can stay there. Torbjorn will go 3. Taylor Moore can stay at 2. Brisker can go 1.5. Jaeger 1.5. Southgate can stay at 2. That's fine. 1.5 for McNeely. Grillo, do I care? Yeah, 1.5 for Grillo. Ben Griffin gets 1.5. Mackenzie Hughes gets 3. Jordan got 3. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. This looks good. So I'll save this for tomorrow when I build lineups for the